Buildings earmarked for demolition in Accra due to structural defects demolished. Also on the program this morning, preliminary report reveals multiple structural and regulatory failures led to Adenta building collapse. And much later on the program, Ghana pushes for domestic oil refining to boost economic resilience amid global uncertainties to drive local industrial growth. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much once again for joining us on the program. Now, city authorities are expected to secure permit to demolish structures sited close to a 3-story building that collapsed on Sunday in the North Industrial area and claimed 3 lives. Early findings show that the existing buildings are weak and posing danger to residents. The emergency response team that evacuated the rubble from the site has finally withdrawn from the site. A report by Christian Yale.
The collapse of the 3-story building is the second of such incident in less than a week and the third in a month. Beyond the tragedy of the 3 lives lost, critical questions are being asked about why building failures persist in Ghana. Concerns about enforcement, construction practices, and the prevailing challenges in the built environment are widespread. The rubble has been cleared and the site barricaded to protect the public from potential hazards and preserve the scene for investigators. The emergency response team has left the site.
This morning we followed up at the police hospital and it's confirmed that we have lost additional victims. So that makes the death to stand at 3 with 1 survivor undergoing treatment.
Why are you withdrawing from the incident scene?
Yes, so disaster response operation has various phases. And so the last phase of our operation is the collection of debris, and as you can see, we are 100% through with the debris collection, and therefore we need to withdraw from the site.
Are you going to more or less declare this area a safety zone so that people do not continually come to this site? And also, what happens to the other buildings around and their structural integrity? Are you going to collapse them as well?
The adjacent building, as you can see, is more or less a death trap, and as the Interior Minister said, arrangement is being made for such a building to be collapsed before we experience any fatalities.
Engineers have attributed the incident to a possible lack of building permit and failure to adhere to construction standards.
From what we are hearing, it looks like the assembly have not given out any permit. We are yet to confirm that fully, but the building have no permit, which means that if a building have no permit, it means that there are no plan works signed by an architect or a built environment specialist or an engineer for the construction to go on. This can be prevented if we see there are laws, there are legal procedures that we need to go through before we build buildings, especially a commercial nature like this, where a lot of people will be frequenting. To put it in a simple language, concretes have different strengths, different mixes and different money. Rebars have different strengths, materials have different strengths and different requirements. If you don't follow it through and do your own thing, and nature comes on us, these are some of the things we'll be experiencing in our country.
In a related development, 1 out of 16 buildings earmarked for demolition in the capital city of Accra due to structural defect has been pulled down. The Koleklote Municipal Assembly says the occupants of the dissipated 4-story building had defied eviction notices until portions of the facility collapsed following Sunday's downpour. George Quainin has the rest of the story.
48-year-old Emmanuel Owusu is a happy man. His greatest fear has finally been eliminated. Having lived in this neighborhood since 1983, he had long dreaded the worst from the dilapidated structure.
Miti this side, but ebemi. Samiusu mehu bibia se sa etetere na mebahanu.
From 1983 to now, I realized the structure is no longer strong than it used to. I was even scared for tenants and myself and others that stay close to the building.
But me cry misro mom.
His concerns were echoed by other residents who went to great lengths to want tenant to vacate the building.
Most of the tenants have moved out. When they move, new people come and rent, and they are not afraid of anything. What they always say is they will manage. We were scared it will collapse, so we are happy it has finally been demolished.
The Kole Klote Municipal Assembly Kokma on Monday, June 8, moved in to demolish the dilapidated structure after several failed attempts to eject its occupants. The impact of Sunday's downpour compelled the occupants to move out after portions of the building collapsed. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, says 50 more of such buildings will be demolished in the coming days.
From here, we'll continue with the others that are not safe for people to occupy.
What you mean others? Yeah.
Yes, in Accra. 15. Yes, we have about 6 at Wejagbari that we have earmarked. So from after this one, we'll move to Wejagbari and then we'll start to do all those things. And all these structures were being occupied by tenants. Unfortunately, the landlords do not live there. So they were rented properties. So as we speak, the Weja, 3 of the properties are ready to undergo the demolition because all the occupants has evacuated.
Seconds into an interview with the head of public affairs of the Ghana National Fire Service, DO2 Desmond Aka, the unexpected happened. The news team engaged the driver of the excavator.
That is the only thing.
Every occupation has its hazards and risks, but all we need are prayers and being careful. I've been in this profession for long. The building was on the verge of collapse.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly AMA is concerned about the continued disregard for safety precautions.
But how you live and how you do your things will show whether you are going to live long or you are going to live short. We should be each other's keeper and report any building you see with a crack. Please let the assembly know. And maybe assembly will give you something, but that one will not be announced by on air. Because if we announce it, people's building will have problems.
Experts have raised serious concerns about how many buildings failed structural integrity tests, describing the situation as alarming. After decades of occupancy, this dilapidated structure has finally been pulled down due to a structural defect. According to NADMO, there are several other buildings in the capital that is similar to this sort, and so they will also be demolished. And so if you're in a neighborhood and you find a facility like this, just contact NADMO to do the needful. Josh Queenan, TV3 News, Osu, Accra.
In a separate development, the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs says it will begin a nationwide assessment of how sanitation funds released to various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies were used in the past year. Now, the move comes as waste management challenges persist across the country. Ahmed Ibrahim is Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. He spoke to us earlier.
So my brothers from the MMDAs, please, people come to me. They want to form new waste companies to make money. I'm not there to make money. I'm there to do the work to make sure my jurisdictional area is clean. We are not in to make money. And from tomorrow, we'll be moving from district to district. 1 year after, now you have been paid. The former MMDCs, they have also been paid. So now I'm free, I can move. If I come to you, what you have done, you account. On sanitation, you tell us. What projects you have done. The one President Mama is doing is a regional engagement. The district one, who will do it? Your GPS location of the project you have done, you will tell us. The amount you have spent, you will tell us. That's why we give you all the money. There should be a broad agreement on immediate measures address current landfill and disposal challenges, practical options for financing, and institutional support. All these should be identified. Stakeholder responsibilities should be clearly defined. A coordinated roadmap for infrastructure development should begin to take place, and if we are to go in a proportional way.
Government Minister speaking to the press earlier. Some more here, and for some months now, commuters in Accra and Kumasi have endured long queues and overcrowded bus stops due to inadequate number of commercial vehicles to transport them. Many heaved a sigh of relief with the arrival and commissioning of some 100 newly imported Isuzu buses. However, Metro Mass Transit says the 100 buses are intended to restore transport services in underserved and rural communities across the country and not for intra-city commuting. Here's a report by Evelyn Tingma.
The Deputy Managing Director of Metro Mass Transit says the company's fleet has dwindled significantly over the years, dropping from about 1,000 buses at its inception in 2003 to just 115 buses currently in operation. As a result, the company's nationwide coverage has been severely affected, with services reduced from 385 routes to only 84 routes due to the shortage of buses. According to Haruna Ampauredu, the 300 buses promised by government, of which 100 have already arrived and commissioned, are intended primarily for residents of remote and underserved communities where access to public transportation is either limited or non-existent.
The buses came in immediately when the president assumed office. The complaints, the challenges that we receive from traditional authorities, policymakers, MPs, living in the hinterlands, and that made the president, being a responsible and listening president, to step in quickly to get those buses so he'll be able to route across the 300 operational route points of Metro Mass. Those buses that has come are for inter-city operational buses.
The clarification may come as a disappointment to commuters in Accra and other major urban centers who had hoped the new buses would ease transportation challenges in the cities. However, the Deputy Managing Director says plans are underway to introduce a separate fleet of high-capacity buses dedicated to urban transportation before the end of the year.
Hope you remember the anti-day bus, yes. Those days, the yellow ones, and that is what the president is keen on. At a go, one bus can pick no less than 80-90 people. So those buses, assuming you have about 20 of them in Accra, that should be enough to deal with Accra situation. It is in the light of that, if you see our head office, we have currently put together a complete EV charging station. It is in expectation of the new buses that are coming. We now have our own EV charging station here. I believe that the intra-city buses, which will be deployed not too far from now, wouldn't be anything less than 100.
In the meantime, he says, Metro Mass Transit has introduced an interim measure by redirecting some buses arriving in Accra from regional routes to provide temporary services within the capital during peak hours before continuing to their original destinations. For now, many commuters may have to wait a little longer for relief, with the company appealing to Ghanaians to be patient as it works to balance the pressing transport demands of urban centers with the equally urgent mobility needs of people living in the hinterlands. Evelyn Tingma, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, Land and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amako-Fiboa has maintained that only responsible and sustainable mining activities would be encouraged. He was launching the cooperative mining scheme at a new Abrim in the Eastern region.
Some youth from Abrim on Monday, June 8th, staged a protest to express their dissatisfaction over exclusion from the list of beneficiaries selected for the mining scheme program. They are demanding a fair opportunity to participate. Frank Amoa is their convener. They want to give our concessions to investors instead of we the locals. We will not agree.
Investors. Now what do you want na Ghana mamra mpono small scale mining
ya chimkotoku omanhene osiade Dr. Frimpo Manson and the Eastern Regional Minister Rita Awate underscored the significance of the program in promoting responsible mining practices and creating employment opportunities through skills development. We are here to address your concerns cents. The program is solely yours. We understand the mining scheme will help protect our resources. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, explained that the mining scheme would be anchored on 5 pillars and noted that government is also pursuing policy and legislative instruments to strengthen district-led cooperative mining for greater accountability at the district level. A new policy is in the offering for amendment. Only locals will have the mandate to give recommendations before license will be issued out. He appealed to the youth. He appealed to the protesting youth to remain calm and look forward to subsequent phases of the program that will accommodate more participants.
And still staying on the issues of illegal mining, the investigator in the illegal mining case against NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman Wuntumi's Akunta Mining has told the Accra High Court that armed men led by the former general manager of the mining firm Akunta Mining branded vehicles accosted and held officials from the Forestry Commission hostage until seized equipment were returned to them. The investigator is the prosecution's second witness in the illegal mining case against Akunta Mining, Wuntumi, and 2 others. Lord Edwasari has more in this report.
During his testimony as the prosecution's second witness, Chief Inspector Eugene Akpo Glover, among other things, submitted that investigations revealed that although Wuntumi had applied for a mining lease to operate in portions of the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve, the Lands Minister had not granted approval at the time Akunta Mining began operations in the area. The witness further noted that checks with the Minerals Commission in November 2022 confirmed the assertion. He affirmed that after Wuntumi was invited to the CID headquarters for questioning, the NPP Ashanti Regional Chairman claimed he had obtained a gazette but failed to produce the document when pressed further. During cross-examination, Chief Inspector Glover indicated that some Forestry Commission officials, journalists, chiefs, and staff of Samatex were held hostage by heavily armed men led by former Akunta Mining manager Edward Akwokon. According to the witness, the men used company-branded vehicles after the team seized equipment for concession. However, when Nandi Apia Akubi, lead counsel for Wuntumi, suggested that company-branded vehicles were not necessarily indicative of ownership by Akunta Mining, the lawyer further suggested that the equipment found in the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve was protective equipment, arguing that Akunta Mining was not engaged in mining activities in the reserve. The witness, however, rejected the assertion. Lawyer for Wuntumi spoke after proceedings.
I pray that the courts remain courts. When I say that, I mean that let us not turn the courts into persecution centers, but let them remain courts of law, so that if they are, and if they become, and if they continue to be, then I have a presumption that we will be able to defend the constitutional presumption of innocence until proven guilty.
The case has been adjourned to June 16 for continuation. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, the absence of boarding facilities at Paga Senior High School has compelled many students to seek accommodation in rented apartments within the district. The District Director of Education, Madam Mary Magdalene Wompakia, has appealed to the government to expand infrastructure at the school to enable it to attain boarding status. She was speaking at the commissioning of a volleyball court project funded by Cashstone Records to promote sports development.
The Paga Senior High School was established in 2010. It is located in Paga in the Kassina Nankana West District of Ghana. The school's girls' dormitory, which was scattered by fire in 2021, has since not been renovated, improving access to quality secondary education, especially for students who travel long distances from surrounding communities, therefore remains a challenge leading to low enrollment. The government's e-block also remains uncompleted. The District Director of Education, Madam Mary Magdalene Wompake, said given the school a boarding status would improve standards.
I also want to urge the Director General and the Minister of Education to fast-track the process for the school to gain its boarding status. I want to urge that you continue to put up your best so that together we produce responsible citizens for Mother Ghana.
Faced with infrastructure deficit, an NGO, Caxton Records, has supported the school with modern volleyball courts. Mr. Ada Raymond, speaking on behalf of the General Manager for Caxton Records, Wanawome Duriyem Abra, said the gesture was part of its corporate social responsibilities.
We choose Para Senior High because we recognize the challenges confronting the school, particularly its infrastructure deficits since its establishment in 2010. We are therefore confident that this volleyball court will serve a platform for nurturing talents and inspiring students to reach their full potential.
Meanwhile, the DCE for Kasena Nankana West, Stephen Akrugu, said the government will continue to support sport and activities in schools.
It's the only district that has produced a number of footballers who have played in the state. We have the likes of Abedi Pele, we have Ayew, we have Jordan, Rahim, and the likes. So sporting activity is something that is very dear to our hearts, and we should not take it lightly. So if that's still record, sport an activity like this.
Now, in a strategic move to fortify the nation's energy sector, Energy and Green Transition Minister John Abdullahi Jinapor says the government is aggressively pushing for the domestic refining of crude oil from Ghana's oil fields. This follows the delivery of some 1 million barrels of crude from the Jubilee fields to a local refinery. Mr. Jinapor emphasized that a robust domestic refinery industry is critical to securing the reliability of oil and petroleum supplies.
This achievement certainly demonstrates the power of collaboration and what can be accomplished when government and industry work together in pursuit of a common national objective. Beyond the immediate commercial benefits, this initiative has significant strategic implications for Ghana. A stronger domestic refinery industry helps fuel oil and petroleum supply reliability. It reduces exposure to international supply shocks, improves foreign exchange retention, creates employment opportunities, and supports the growth of ancillary industries across the petroleum value chain. Because as you refine oil, you get other byproducts and other products which benefits the entire value chain. And for me, that is highly commendable.
And that's all for News Morning here on New Day on TV3. My name is Paige Sedu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on New Day.
first time. And that same event house has been organizing other events here in the country. I mean, it's not a secret. Prince Mackay, he's been speaking even publicly about it, and he's saying that, well,
look at her beautiful smile.
I know, Linda Oklu. But yes, Linda Oklu was awarded the best performing minister.
A+ too got an award.
Yes, A+ also got an award for the most. There was a title that A+ was given, first timer, most impressive or outstanding first timer. Listen, a lot of people were there. A lot of people were there. Yes, and she also won best deputy minister. Yes, minister, you know. And just like you're saying, the timing.
Yes.
The timing.
Yes.
But most importantly, apart from the timing, you know, this is a private award scheme. How are you awarding people who were put in their various offices by government? Isn't it government's prerogative to say that, okay, I mean, not to organize an award per se, but it's for government to say that this person has been outstanding, this person is this person is that.
Agree.
How? Can somebody explain it to me, or can you please help us understand this
I'm sure that people would say that, to be fair, he's also organized the RTP Awards over time, but he's not necessarily in the journalism space, the media space.
But you see, for that, at least nominations come out. You go through
that. People have raised eyebrows about it as well. So I understand. My biggest concern, and you're right, that maybe it was government's prerogative to be the ones to determine who has been the best performing so far. But at this time, when the floods are in, and for me, what broke my heart even more was when I heard the Greater Accra Regional Minister even justify why she won the award. And she mentioned a number of things, including tackling floods, street lights. You promised us 85%.
Yeah, she promised, yes.
Exactly, 85% coverage of street lights across the city. I don't think we've gotten there yet. And so if you're receiving awards and you're justifying it, saying you've tackled these matters, in fact, you were tackling flooding with the demolition of buildings even before the rains came. We've just seen how buildings are going down. We've seen people dying. Chado, I mean, I was quite shocked that Chado was flooded to that level. But then again, when you look at the history, it wasn't supposed to be a place for development of buildings anyway. But even to have those areas, East Legon Hills, flooded, and you are justifying and saying you've worked hard, and so you think you deserve the award. I thought that her team did her a big disservice by even allowing her to grant that interview to speak about the matter, because people are upset, people are angry, and rightly so. A lot of things are not going as expected. So even if you goofed and you got that award, and I'm using that advisedly when I say goofed, you need to measure the temperature of the nation and know when to speak about it, and just also stay quiet. And so that statement from the presidency, even that people are even questioning if a statement is enough, if there shouldn't be other measures taken beyond just telling or admonishing government officials to not accept awards from individual organizations when you cannot measure, the intent behind it. But I don't know what you all think about it. It's a big worry.
We'll activate the phone lines this morning so that you get to contribute and tell us exactly what you make of this. But then we've got a packed show for you this morning as well. Later on today on the show, we'll be hosting the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Ghana. He is here, or he will be here, to speak about the launch of climate talks. I mean, climate has changed everywhere around the world, even in Ghana. Now we're experiencing it with the heavy rains and all of that. How is that affecting your farming, the food on your table, the weather, your businesses as well? We'll get into all of that. And also, KKD, as we all affectionately call him, His Excellency King Kwesi Dakwa, the President's special envoy to the Caribbean region, would also be here for a special interview this morning. So please be on the lookout for that one. They're fostering Ghana-Caribbean cultural and economic ties. What are we discussing for the big issue?
So we're going back to the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital. And yesterday we were expecting that the doctors would have called off the strike based on, or at least made a decision that would nurse the benefits of patients and everyone within the region and beyond, based on a statement that was made by Dr. Franka Makohene, the Ashanti Regional Minister. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And I've heard from the president of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital Doctors Association, and he says that there was a statement that was released yesterday by the Ministry of Health. That's what angered them, which is why they decided not to move forward with whatever decision they had made. So we're going to get into that conversation and see what the way forward is. And then after that as well, we'll discuss this letter that has been released by Dr. Callistus Mahama, admonishing government officials to stay away from awards from private institutions that cannot be measured necessarily. And so those are the two conversations we're having this morning. And joining us, we'll have Dr. Titus Bayu. He's a member of Parliament and also a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. Dr. Ramsey Inusa, Director of Political Research, United Party. Dr. Ikea Mwakun is the Deputy Spokesperson NPP for the NPP flag bearer, also for the NPP Health Committee. And we also have Austin Bracco Powers, private legal practitioner, and Jonas Ifri is the Ashanti Regional Chairman for the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association. He will be speaking on behalf of the nurses because they also released a statement indicating that they were going on strike in solidarity with the health professionals at the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. So look forward to that conversation.
But the CEO also, did you mention that already, that he also came out with a communique asking all of them to go back to work, much as he understands that they are supportive of him and all of that. Humanity is important and service to the country is of utmost paramountcy, so they should go back to work. We'll get into all of that this morning and see what the situation is. But you're welcome to TV3 Newday. You're welcome to This Morning as well.
For This Morning on TV3 Newday, and we're taking a look at that letter that was released from the presidency by Dr. Callistus Mahama. And of course, he was admonishing government appointees to stay away from accepting awards from institutions and rather focus more on the work at hand. And this follows an awards event that took place over the weekend where we saw a number of ministers and state institution CEOs receive awards for performance at their various institutions. And so we had the likes of Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, who was named the best male performing minister. He's the minister for natural resources. Linda Oklu also won the best regional minister. Dorcas Toffe, best deputy minister as well. And also we're told that, in fact, the finance minister was also named the best performing minister overall as well. So we saw a number of them attend. That is Honorable Linda Oklu, the Greater Accra Regional Minister, in short, with, I believe, some of her friends or colleagues showcasing her citation and her plaque as well. And she wasn't the only one. Beautiful smile, I must say. We're not sure if the occasion was right, especially at the time when this award was given. We see A+ in there as well, holding his plaque, and that's the Deputy Transport Minister, also looking beautiful as usual at the ceremony. But this of course, they caught some flack for accepting these awards and even attending in the first place. And then we saw a statement that indicated that these organizers may have asked some of these attendees to pay an amount of money before attending the awards and receiving the awards as well. This has been debunked by the Greater Accra Regional Minister. By the way, she says that as far as she's concerned, she was not approached to pay any money to attend the awards. She was only given the awards. And she's justified why she won the awards because she said she's worked really hard over the 17 months that she's been in office. In fact, tackling floods, street lights, etc. But a statement then was released yesterday from the office of the president, and it was signed by Dr. Callistus Mahama. And he also touched on a number of things. He said that the presidency is concerned about the growing trend of ministers, CEOs of state institutions, and political appointees accepting awards from private organizations. The presidency holds the view that many of these award schemes lack transparency, credible assessment criteria, and public accountability. Moves on to say that public office holders have been directed not to participate in, sponsor, endorse, attend, or accept awards from private organizations unless expressly authorized by the office of the president. The presidency warns that such awards risk undermining the integrity of public service and exposing government to public criticism and embarrassment, which is what we saw yesterday on social media. Social media was replete with a lot of messages, a lot of people, of course, indicating their disappointment in government. Now, the presidency insists that performance of ministers and CEOs will be judged based on measurable outcomes, policy implementation, prudent resource management, and service delivery, and not private award ceremonies. The president will undertake its own comprehensive review of ministers and CEOs, and the findings may influence retention, reassignment, or future cabinet restructuring. So this alone gives an indication that there may be some reshuffle happening very soon after the presidency has undertaken its own comprehensive review. As to when this is going to happen, we're not sure. Over the weekend, we got, a statement that later was debunked as not coming from the presidency, indicating that there could be a reshuffle. But even that, it looks like a lot of people are awaiting that statement and, of course, that list as well. But it goes on to say that public officials are encouraged to focus on delivering results rather than seeking external recognition schemes of questionable credibility. And, it's interesting because when this awards event was announced, sometime maybe 4 weeks ago, Edem Agbana, who is also an MP in Parliament, had spoken on this matter.
He had.
And he posted on Twitter that he wasn't sure about the, more like the association of state institutions with some of these awards events. That's it on the screen. He said that I've observed a worrying trend where many groups are organizing award schemes for CEOs, institutions, ministers, and other public officials. Then he goes on to say, just as it happened under the previous administration, I've noticed that some state-owned enterprises are being listed or advertised as sponsors of these awards. And he says, respectfully, I believe it may be necessary for the Chief of Staff to issue a directive on this matter. This was a month ago. Significant amounts of funds appear to be going into sponsoring such events, yet the direct benefit to the social contracts we signed with the Ghanaian people remains unclear. So he had even called and said some of these institutions could instead be encouraged to channel their corporate social responsibility resources into more impactful projects, such as the construction of schools, astroturfs, drilling of boreholes, refurbishments of markets, and other community-based interventions. And unfortunately, some institutions seem to be continuing the NPP tradition of sponsoring awards largely for the purpose of receiving plaques and recognitions that create the impression of performance. Anyway, what do I know? No, it's disclaimer. I do not know the sponsors of this particular awards yet, but what does it even mean? Do they know the KPI of each minister? What is Best Minister Awards?
Right. So it was in direct connection with the SITH Ghana Ministers of State Excellence Awards. Ghana Ministers of State Excellence Awards. Wow, what a name to even give it. Well, messages are already coming in. There's a very long one here that I'll take my time to read, and it's from Humado Sichope on Facebook, and he says, good morning to Bella and Cookie. I have mixed views on the presidency's position regarding awards given to public appointees. On one hand, I disagree because private institutions have the right to conduct their own assessments and recognize individuals based on their own criteria. As long as the process is transparent and free from any improper dealings, such awards should not automatically be viewed with suspicion. On the other hand, I understand the presidency's concerns. Without proper guidelines, some individuals or organizations may be tempted to use awards as a means of gaining favors, influence, or creating conflicts of interest. Safeguards are therefore necessary to protect the integrity of public office. The challenge is to strike a balance between allowing independent recognition and preventing any abuse of the process. Okay, Humadu Sichope, you sent in that one. Thank you very much. Okay, do you have any other messages? Otherwise, we wait and activate the phone lines and wait for you to call us. Do we have our first caller on the telephone lines? Okay. All right.
Well, let me read a few of them on social media.
Okay.
And, okay, so a couple of them coming in. Does it mean the presidency didn't see it coming? Why this communique after the events? And that's Nana Kwesi Apeko II. All right. And, well, although Honorable Sam George did not receive any of the recent Best Performing Minister awards, I would still consider relieving him of his ministerial duties if I were President John Dramani Mahama. My reason has less to do with awards and more to do with the present needs of Ningo Pram. Many residents continue to raise concerns about poor infrastructure, sanitation, flooding, employment opportunities, and other development challenges that require constant attention and advocacy. Being both a minister and an MP is a demanding responsibility. In my view, Ningo Pram would benefit more if Sam George devoted his full attention to addressing the concerns of his constituents and pushing for accelerated development in the area. Cookie.
Okay. We do have Peter T., our first caller on the line this morning. Good morning, Peter. It's good to have you on TV3 Newday.
Good morning, Bella. How are you?
It's Cookie, by the way.
Good. Cookie T, I hope you are doing well.
Yes, sir.
With your beautiful faces I can see.
Thank you.
Cookie T, let me seize the opportunity to say good morning to Alhaji Yankundu and then Alhaji Mahdi and also Mr. Emmanuel Ashaletete in the regional security officer for the party, national security. I think that looking at the voluminity of this award that have been presented to such ministers so far based on their performances, the presidency or the government has every right to apply condemnation and question the credibility and the integrity of this award. But because what I can see so far, it doesn't order well for government performance, and then also too, these are the people who will be blown thinking that because they are the best, now they will take the law into their hands and then do what they want to do. I don't support it because I always say that we should not allow activities that are not in conformity with our cultural values affect our traditional values, because we need to invest into the development of government policies and programs. It is not this. Private sectors are also under the control of government of the day. And I believe that I don't know who they have been able to contact before initiating some of these decisions. Kokiti, I don't know, because government cannot be sitting down aloof and then watching this. Will any of them tell me that they have not been informed about these decisions taken by these companies? Would they tell me, or is it because now that government has seen it to be something that will not play any positive role and the government trying to condemn before anybody will know? I don't think that. If we want to be fair, to ensure accountability and prudent economic success.
Thank you. Please do make it short so that other people can also call. But I'm told Albert has joined us on the line.
Hello.
Albert, good morning.
Good morning, madam. I hope we are all doing well.
We are fine, thank you. We hope you are well too.
Yes, Albert Kwekuprampa from Asarewutri. I've agreed with the president 100%. But I disagree with you people in the studio in respect of the Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Kulu. You were saying she's justifying the award. I knew that all of you have ever had an award, even from school before. Sometimes it is not that you are brilliant than anybody in the school, but maybe the way you dress. Neat students can be awarded. Brilliant students can be awarded. Therefore, if she's saying that he's tackling flood and other things, it is true. Is it not true? Are we not seeing her demolishing houses at the waterways? Are we not seeing it? Are we not seeing her everywhere, even if it's raining? As a lady, consider that one first.
Okay.
Competing with men. So I am saying that your TV station had a lot of awards that I believe very strong that you deserve, or the station deserves. But other stations also are doing well. But they have given that award to you people in respect of a specific. So you cannot say that because she is not able to do A, B, C, therefore she doesn't deserve, or she's justifying it.
Okay.
The awardees may have seen one other thing that is stand up. So my point here is that I disagree with you 100%. She deserves it. Thank you very much.
Dissent is allowed on this show. So thank you very much for your call as well. We have another caller.
Yes, I'm told it's Alaji. Alaji from Sablugu. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Bellad.
Good morning, sir.
Bellad, how are you?
I am fine, thank you. Cookie is here too.
Alaji.
Cookie, how are you?
Very well, Alaji. But today you promised me that you keep it very short. So let's just go straight to the point, Alaji.
No problem. Let me send my greetings to Shemima and Julius Debra, Chief of Staff, and Get Fan Deputy CEO, Honorable Swale Sudan Dawa. Cookie, no, I just want to know who organized this award. Who organized it?
There's a private event house that organized it, led by Prince McKay.
You see, when these things happen, it be like people will have doubt in our government, because such things did not need to organize in this country. Because when you awarded people, for what reason, and you awarded them, how much do you use to organize the event? And we just want to know. So this kind of thing, and we're talking about, let's condemn it. And nobody will organize this thing again, because some people want opportunity to get our chance to speak anything they want to speak against our government. So if they organize it and the ministers participate it, and it will be like, and we organize it and use our taxpayers' money to do something which is not good. So let's keep on condemning it. So let me send my question to Alaja Lassan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alaji.
Thank you. You had to chip in.
I was hoping it wasn't going to be a number of names, but we have another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, sir, and where you're calling from?
My name is Jacob. I'm talking to my chairman.
Please talk to us.
I'm
Mpacho Ketri.
I put this no mama award me. So then journalist for moving wo na. And na social media and Friday wa klana ogo award.
And journalist na de ma wo mo me pacho obi na wa ye ne company and also oya awards ama government officials. And a president is in ji ho enye na ye kasa.
And yet, president, social media has come in now, president Musu or Kazakh. Social media has come in now, president Kazakh. I said, then I want they are the journalists for them because journalists for them more Ghana is young. You need to journalists. I said, it's not for them, we are Ghana. I said, who's young, move to social media, so now muka. Award we no more. No, on one never say award no more. Omugo tiaka.
Any cancer, or be now say, Pesa White ne cancer, or see one more friend, and no, they ain't to me verify. Organizers now about Rebecca say, and Nukrabia Nimusa, but no, Neka say, or more friend.
Journalist, professing, and to be that don't be the two on the Mutra and I'm doing down with it. I said, on part of the two, yet the time question one, yet down or can I say,
I no pay us or Kuma, but to Boise, as Sam Kakaniaka, or Namintinia, or can I say, why?
So we are talking about two on my mood too, but I'm
okay.
But no pay what you know, Papa. I was saying about teachers.
That's the one on the part of the two on him. I said, that's why I have my no, that's all the panel.
Yo, into my and can't Sam no.
Now, where I don't think, my and can't want Sam.
Me pacho me bisa say nsuo itoye watin sema edi aba say ebi mo nsuo na call mo dem ebi mo ewu because eyi building a collapse wo mo so ni ade say watin ni nyina
building a collapse no penifo bi na ye
there be yen ka sa enti ye bisa to boase me bisa wasem ye bisa say at this time Nkrofo ewu Nkrofo nyoma say ne ade no ugidi say time when na was a minister say kokoji award say omo no mo aye adwuma chen obi ana because isi ano Nkrofo go through a lot nti anka say was omo hold on madam me tell say madam
obi go bezo
o se me free go bezo me patro me free Ghana me e Ghana ni
so na obi Ghana omo afemu won wa ya me ye bisa mu kwata mu ya no Ladi na eti enu so na to enu na yi kokoko no minister no okoro go bo mu omo mu go sisi dan no mu huye omo huye say bi go bi na nye so bi ade mu ka kwanu na mu ni no mu jata adamu ya Ghana
ai no dey awards no
minister no ma go fi jata dan
nti awards no wo dey me patranti wo dey awards no we ni je ho say ye de mo
kra ne san
yeah, I'm a honey. They are already posted as this. Some from one of the gossip on me. Obu from one of the gossip on me. Obu would I don't see Adena, I would try my Abana about the book. And
that's to boss. I'm a pay petty and not to come in. To boss. Yes, Wakuma Behawo, to boss. Kasaka Kania Kasa, Kopeko Kobina 5 peg biscuits, Kahuna. Na no man no pay why na ma wakoma bra from kakra na asa why you heated dodo
Oma utri na by
force my last dream my trouble
I know just came out this morning. Wow. Anyways, all divergent views are welcome here on the show. It doesn't only have to favor what we want to hear or what you want to hear. Every view is welcome on the show. So thank you to the last caller who called. Another one on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TV3 Newday.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Pristia, Fred.
You're calling from Pristia?
Yeah.
Okay, and your name is Fred?
Yeah, Fred.
Okay. Fred, let me just ask, are you guys experiencing what we are experiencing as per the floods here in Accra, in Pristia, or the situation there is better?
Yeah, most areas at Pristia, we are also experiencing the same flooding.
I didn't get that, sir.
Yeah, most areas over here, we are also experiencing it.
Even in Pristia?
Yeah, Pristia.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I just wanted to find out.
There is a place called Inswechi.
Inswechi.
They are also experiencing the same thing.
Floods. Wow.
Most of the time, some people can't get access to their homes because of the flood.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, to the main reason you called this morning, sir, I just wanted that education.
Pardon me?
Please go to the main issue why you called.
Yeah, my issue is the award given LP
Oh, Fred. Fred, position yourself well because you keep going in and out of the conversation. I think your connection is a little flawed. So please position yourself a little bit. Well, a few messages here as you do that. Komla Genya says Rollins advised against imitating the NPP, but these NDC appointees decided to ignore that very important warning because they are more interested in keeping relationships with their NPP friends and schoolmates, according to COS, and continue behaving like them. No wonder Oral is facing, okay? Good morning, TV3. I was shocked when I heard the Greater Accra Regional Minister bragging about the award she has won because she doesn't deserve that award. The only minister that deserves the award is the Volta Regional Minister, Honorable James Gunu, Dennis Doe. Okay. Honorable James Gunu and Dennis Doe sent this one from Aflau. Well, maybe you are organizing your own award scheme as well. Even some people who received the award did not even deserve it, but I don't see anything wrong if the government appointees receive awards. Bismarck Mensa sent in that one. Do you have messages, Bella?
Well, a number of them actually on Facebook as well. And Chris Kweku says that this award thing you're talking about isn't the first edition. So what's all this talk? Well, we're talking because of the statement that was released from the presidency indicating that, you know, these appointees should avoid taking or receiving these awards to avoid embarrassing the government. And so that's why we're touching on it. So maybe this question, you can direct it at Dr. Callistus Mahama and the presidency as well. Zalix Dwayne says, Babella, you took a fake award from Dr. UN. Please, this doesn't win an election. Ghanaians will decide. And that's why I mock myself every day because, I mean, I think that is one of the worst decisions I made in my career. And I've talked about it over and over again. So if I took the award and it was fake, and I'm asking you people to be careful, maybe you should listen to me because I've lived it before. And my only concern, I'm not saying that no government official deserves an award. I'm not saying that no CEO deserves an award. I'm just saying that read the room. Read the temperature of the nation and know when to receive some of these awards, especially at this time when homes are flooding.
Don't go out bragging about it, and praising yourself for receiving.
I mean, even if you want to, my only concern, just last week, there was a building that collapsed. Someone died. And then that weekend, you go and take an award.
Two of them, actually.
At this point, I'm not sure how people, exactly. And then you justify, like you said, that you've tackled flooding, you tackled street lights. Well, we clearly can see that these issues have not been tackled extensively. So that's all we're saying. As to whether they deserve the award or not, we'll leave that for, you know, the nation to judge and for the presidency to judge as well. Even some people who received the award didn't even deserve it. But I don't see anything wrong if government appointees receive awards. Bismarck Mensa. Okay. Ayape Richard says, a health professional built on saving lives loses all its credibility when care is weaponized against the vulnerable. The health sector has repeatedly turned strikes into political tools, surfacing with ill intentions anytime the NDC is in power. Patients suffer while egos and agendas come first. That is not leadership or care as doctors or nurses. That is wickedness and abandonment. Okay. Leo Alberto says he's making sales, but the shouting is not enough. That's why I say you should go and get some cocoa or tea with peck shortcake and enjoy this morning.
Happy birthday going out to Selikem Pupulampu of Lyron School. May you grow in wisdom and in strength. Is from your dad, Elder Lawe. So happy birthday, Elikem Pupulampu of Lyron School. Well, TV3 in partnership with the German Embassy in Accra here is inviting you to Climate Talks 2026 in Tamale under the theme Building Climate Security Resilience in Ghana. Join the conversation on climate-induced conflicts and community resilience in northern Ghana, featuring the German ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Frederick Landskrof. Now, watch live from the Pioneer Guest Lodge in Tamale, June 10, tomorrow at 10 a.m. on TV3 and all our digital platforms. Be part of the conversation shaping Ghana's climate future. And he will be here in studio this morning for an extensive discussion on climate talks. Please be with us as we get into all of that. Now, also remember to pack up your day the Milky Way with a rich, smooth taste of Peck Milk Shortcake. It's pure delight, available everywhere in the country. Get for yourself and for your loved ones as well. We take a break. we come back with the big issue. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Mommy.
Yes, my dear.
I miss you already.
Just a little taste of home so you don't forget our meal time.
How can I? Yidishito. It's so tasty, just like a feeding.
morning, we're taking a look at some very important issues like we always do on the show. And so we'll be heading over to the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital, and that will be one of our main topics for discussion this morning after the CEO of the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital was asked to proceed on a 2-week leave after he made a decision to suspend admissions at the emergency unit. And of course, they indicated that it was because it was oversubscribed. A unit that had only about 37 beds was taking care of about 61 patients. And it got to a point where they had to make that difficult decision to suspend admissions so they do not become overwhelmed, even though they were already. And so as a result of that, we saw that the Minister of Health had asked for him to come and answer some questions. And after that happened, he was asked to proceed on a 2-week leave. This angered the doctors at the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital. And so the association came together, released a statement, and indicated that in solidarity with their CEO, they were embarking on a strike as well. And they gave 3 instances where they were going to agree to call off the strike. And if that was done, then that, they would agree to go off. In fact, one of the demands that they gave was a suspension of the CEO immediately to be reversed, board to issue clear policies for managing situations where emergency capacity has been exceeded. And finally, they wanted the Ministry of Health to provide timelines for operationalization of the Sewa and Afari Hospital and retooling of the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital and other hospitals in the Ashanti region. And then also we heard from the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, who also threatened a strike. In fact, on Sunday morning, they indicated that they were making 3 demands. And if those demands were not met by 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, they were also going to proceed on a strike. Now, what were the demands? First of all, they wanted the Ministry of Health to expedite operationalization of long-awaited health facilities to decongest the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital. They wanted urgent retooling, infrastructure expansion, adequate resource allocation to be carried out to bring the hospital to the standards of an internationally recognized center of excellence, and to withdraw suspension immediately of the CEO. After that, we saw that the Ashanti Regional Minister had a closed-door meeting with the doctors and the nurses, after which he spoke to the media and indicated that they were going to come out, the doctors would come out and tell us what decision they had made, because as far as he was concerned, they had come to a truce, sort of. So the whole of yesterday, we were awaiting that statement from the doctors at the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital, from the nurses. We didn't hear anything. In fact, they were still on strike, only to hear later in the evening from the president of the association that they were having a meeting, looking at the best ways to, of course, come out and probably call off the strike until they saw a statement from the Ministry of Health. And of course from the minister, who described their strike as unfortunate. And so these are the timelines with regards to what has happened over the last 3 to 4 days with regards to the Comfort Noche Teaching Hospital. And we're going to have a conversation on that, because now the CEO, who is asked to be to go off on a 2-week suspension, has admonished his colleagues to come back to work and allow the health minister, in all his wisdom, to address the matter the right way possible. And so in the studios this morning, we have next to me Austin Bracco Powers, and he's a private legal practitioner. It's good that he's here because there's a legal angle to this conversation as well, and we'll get into it. Good morning. Good morning. I hope you're well. Well, I haven't seen him in a very long time. In fact, he served as the General Secretary for the Ghana Medical Association. We used to talk to him constantly on the show until he resigned somewhere in 2023 to contest for the Lambusia seat. Of course, he won, and he is here today as an MP. So we have Dr. Titus K. Bayo. He's a member of Parliament's Select Committee on Health as well. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Bella.
to see you after 5 years.
It's really been long.
Yes.
Since then, I am now a professor. So
Professor, forgive me. Forgive me, Professor. Yes. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
How's it going in Parliament?
By God's grace,
yeah,
we're surviving.
We thank God.
Yeah.
And also we have Dr. Ekia Amwako, Deputy Spokesperson for the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. She's also the spokesperson for the NPP Health Committee. Good to see you in the studio. How are you doing?
Back, I guess considering everything that is going on, we are taking it a day at a time.
Yeah, it is well. Hopefully things will get better.
It has to.
It has to, eh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, also joining us via Zoom, we have Jonas Efriye. He's the Ashanti Jones, forgive me, Jones Efriye. I don't know why I still made this mistake after he corrected me. Jones Efriye Anto. He is the Ashanti Regional Chairman for the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, my lady.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well this morning.
All right. I'll start off with you first of all. I mean, we expected that the strike would have been called off some way, somehow yesterday. We haven't seen that happen, but we're seeing that the CEO is asking all of you to go back to work. What do you say to that?
Yes, what you heard is true, and you vividly explained that. The point is that we had a very fruitful meeting on Sunday, the regional minister together with the regional coordinating team and a few other big guys in Ashanti region met us. The conclusions in that meeting was very good. And the decision was that we were coming to meet our constituents. But before we could conclude that meeting with the constituents, Ministry of Health release had come and angered all of the people who were supposed to take the decision, not the leaders, but the membership. And as Prof. Bayo is there, you know that when you lead unions and you test the ground and you know that your membership are not ready, you don't want to also risk it. So the members told us that the minister seemed not to appreciate the reason why we are doing this. And so the grounds, as at yesterday, was not good for us to call off the strike. We hope that things will change. Meetings at the background are going on.
Okay.
And we hope that when change, we may have to resign the decision, because we think that the issues are quite simple. You know that there's a way to work. There's a protocol, an internationally accepted protocol to work. Declaring critical incident is everywhere in the world. If you check the data, US, UK, everywhere, when they are stressed like that, the professionals will come to decide to take what we call critical incident decision, the decision to stop admission at the emergency room, then take measures to decongest it and then readmit. In this case, the decision is not really from the CEO. That's why when the CEO comes to tell us to go back to work, our dear CEO, the issue is not about him, really. It's not about him.
Okay.
The issue is we following protocol and calling on management to suspend admission. And the reason for doing that is for the safety of the patients. The truth is that if you don't take care and you say there's a directive or there's a general sentiment that no, because of Nobel syndrome, you should not ask people to move on, then you'll be admitting people to their unsafe environments. And that is so unethical. And this was perfectly done because before that incident was declared, there was a regional health sort of meeting involving the regional director of health, all medical superintendents in Ashanti region, and all district directors in Ashanti region, designing how we are going to do that. Okay. So the scheme was, Konfanoche is not accepting, but when the emergencies go to other centers and they need help, they will consult still Konfanoche. So there's a radiologist who is supposed to consult for those facilities. They will do. If there's any other expertise in Konfanoche that those places are lacking, they will go, including moving doctors from Konfanoche to those facilities to even see those patients. Okay. And if the situation is such that those people should be asked to come to Konfanoche to be stabilized before they are sent back, it will be done. And so after we have done all these things, we didn't think that anybody in leadership should have been punished for taking a very professional decision for the safety of our patients. And in this case, almost all the very important stakeholders were also consulted. So we think that the CEO, the decision is not really even from the CEO himself. So he should not be punished for it.
So who's the decision from?
It's an emergency team decision, clinical decision. The nurses at the emergency room, the doctors at the emergency room consulting their head of department, and because said communications cannot come out from any ordinary doctor's hand or any ordinary nurse hand, it should come from the office of the CEO. And so the decision is not really, it's like CEO and his management deciding that we are no more seeing patients. It is a clinical safe decision that the emergency team took at that time. And after implementing for 24 hours, the place was decongested and we started readmitting patients.
All right.
So that is what is done everywhere. And so we don't expect that anything will flow out of that.
A few questions before you carry on. Now, this decision that was made, of course, like you clearly stated, not just by the CEO, but by, the entire caucus, if I may put it. Of course, if you look at the statement from the Ministry of Health, they are saying that the president had given a directive that no matter the situation, do not turn patients away. And so for the minister especially, this was a directive that was not adhered to, which is why they needed to make that decision to suspend the CEO.
In fact, we have not flouted the directive of the president, and we will not do that. We can never. The president understands that the situation in which we are working, and so when we exceeded capacity, that is how come we have to arrange with Ghana Health Service in the region, and all medical superintendents and make that announcement. So it's not as if we were sitting there and you come to Konfanoche and we say we will not see you. It is, the place is full. If you come, you are no more safe here at the moment. So let us tell you that as you are coming, pass through Suntreso, pass through Nkaria Hospital, pass through Jabeng. Let us talk to Sunyani Hospital before they come. Let us talk to Wenchi Methodist Hospital before they come. So that we are able to make sure you are safe, even after talking to them. In fact, when we even declared it, there was 1 or 2 cases that we still asked them to come, and we stabilize them and send them back. So it is not, we can never flout the directive of the president. That's why we think that there's a misunderstanding somewhere, and so the minister should hear us out. And
but the minister gave audience to the CEO to come and answer questions. You don't think that he was able to get the full understanding of the situation on the ground?
That is what we believe, because that is not the solution to it. After all, if the CEO had even done something not pleasing to the minister, at least people should understand that that decision is not like administrative decision from the CEO. When we put our leaders in set conditions because they are appointed, it's not fair. The point is that this is a patient safety decision. Patient safety decision. I am sure that the president did not mean that we should admit people wherever they want to move, and then even if we'll be able to care for them or not. The alternative would have been, okay, because we don't want to be seen to be flouting any rules, we will open the emergency room, take a client in there, then close the door. Then after some moments, maybe you see somebody dead, we declare dead nicely, and then the person will leave. That is not ethical for us. And that is not good for Ghana.
And you're saying, if I may come in, you are saying that all these details about, the decision that was made, the CEO was able to relay that information to the minister and he still went ahead to take that decision? You're sure that all the details were given to him?
That one, we are not there.
Okay.
But what we want to say is that whatever decision we took, and we have considered and reconsidered it, and think that that is the best decision we could make at that instant on behalf of the country, for the patient's safety, and for all the directive of the president and everything that happened.
Even though patients were stranded?
No patient was stranded. The decision was perfectly executed. No patient was stranded because it was arranged with all.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to him. That's Jones Efriye Antor, and he's the chairman of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association. I'll bring Dr. Titus Bayo in to respond to this. Of course, he's explained exactly how they arrived at this decision, Professor Titus Bayu. It will take me a while to get used to this. But very quickly, let me also introduce Dr. Ramsey Nusa. He's the Director of Political Research, United Party. Good to see you.
Thank you, Bella.
In the studios. Prof, let me come to you. And Mr. Jones, just hold on for me if you're still on there. You've heard him explain.
Yes.
So if this was the process in making the decision, why did the Minister of Health still have to ask the CEO to proceed on a 2-week suspension?
All right. So let me say good morning to you, good morning to my co-panelists, and then, of course, to my constituents in Lambuse who may be watching us this morning. I would say that what has happened is a very regrettable, unfortunate incident. And I say it's regrettable because you can see an unintended consequence of the strike action. When I get there, I'll explain it. But I'll summarize everything that has happened as one of a communication gap that led to lack of understanding, which he has alluded to. And this lack of understanding led to either side of the divide interpreting the intentions and motives of the other one wrongly. And Bella, I'm making this with several years of experience as a union leader myself and knowing what they feel, and as somebody who has worked in the emergency setting, but also having the additional understanding as someone who sits on the board of the Ministry of Health and also chairs a teaching hospital board like this, like Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And what do I mean by communication gap? If you look at it and the misunderstanding that has resulted from it, the doctors took what I would call a good clinical decision. The management, all those who were gathered there, took a good clinical decision. And he has explained everything that went into that decision. And at some point, if you permit me, I'll give you excerpts of minutes of the meeting they held. And they did ensure that there was continuity of care and no patient was harmed. So clinically, you will say they didn't err. Because technically, you don't want to admit people when you know you cannot care for them. You don't want to admit people and then they will die because there's no oxygen port and all of that. And when that happens, one, it amounts to giving the general public false hope that if you come here, you can get help. And then we get there and you cannot get it. It amounts to giving people assurance that does not exist. So in terms of clinical decision, it was a good clinical decision. However, and this is where the communication gap is, this decision was communicated in a manner that led to a breach in institutional governance protocol. And so we have to disaggregate the two. They should not have communicated it the way it was communicated.
Communicated to who, the public or to the minister?
First to the public, second even to the minister. Mind you, all public facilities, health facilities in this country belong to the government. They are held in trust by the president on our behalf. The person acting on the authority of the president as owner of all these facilities is the minister. And so if you need to shut down a section of a public health facility, that decision should go to the highest level because technically you don't own that facility. That's what I'm saying. It's a good clinical decision. But when it comes to the governance, institutional governance, it was carried out erroneously. And that's what has resulted in all of this. Now, how could they have handled this situation? I saw all the effort they put in. They made sure there were institutional arrangement, but you need to understand the context. And this morning, I want to salute the health workers in Konfanochi and then appeal to them to come back, and I'll explain something. Unlike Kolebu, where we have Police Hospital 37, Rage, and the rest, and because of that, Rage fails if I'm not able to take, Kolebu will take. 37 fails if I'm not able to take, Police will take. And that is why in Accra, you would hear patients moving from hospital to hospital that there's no bed. In Konfanochi, hardly, and I have never ever heard this until today, because very often they will take almost everybody.
At Kolebu?
No, Konfanochi.
Okay, Konfanochi.
Yes,
okay. This is the first time that...
Because they don't have a hospital like this. And so everybody coming in, they'll do everything. So you can see the statistics on the day, the number of patients that were there and all of that. So they are a hospital that is known to do their very, very best. And so if something like this has happened, it's understandable. But I would explain why the minister would take a decision like that. But this misunderstanding, as has led to both sides interpreting things wrongly. So what are the interpretations that they have given, the workers? They think that their real intention was patient safety, quality of care, and all of that. But now they feel their effort that they put in is unappreciated. They have done all of this, and at the end of the day, they feel their leader is being punished. They feel disrespected. But in reality, that is not what the situation is. Bella, how does the minister feel? And is the minister also taking the right decisions? And I will tell you, in terms of governance, you cannot fault the minister in what he has done.
I'll let you hold on that, because I'm told that Jones Anto has to go to class. So we need to wrap up with him very quickly so he can go, and then we will get back to you, Prof. So Jones, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, just quickly, I'm sure you heard the latter part of Prof's submission that the minister is not at fault necessarily. I would have wished that he expatiated on that so you can respond. But quickly, I was asking a question before you went off. I mean, we're clearly seeing that patients have gone to the emergency unit, for example, at the hospital. Yesterday, journalists interacted with them, and they are concerned about the strike because now they are not getting medical care. Should that not bother you as well?
It bothers us, and that's why people in leadership should take decisions that help us. I've heard what Prof said, and we have worked together at the union level a lot with Prof, and so he understands the situation. But we think that whatever decision the minister is taking, he should do it such that we return back to the status quo and then put in measures to resolve the emergency situation in Ashanti region and the northern sector of the country in all. For instance, right in Kumasi, we don't want to be part of the politics as to who started what, who is ending what, who is doing what. But that is what is in Kumasi. But that is not what we are interested. But we have a military hospital. And like he said, when emergencies happen in Accra, there are alternatives. In Ashanti region and in the northern sector, there are no alternatives. So comfort is take or leave. And so we have our military hospital, 500 bed capacity, nice hospital with equipment. We have seen equipment inside. We think that immediately, whatever it takes for government to operationalize it will be very helpful.
Okay.
And if you look at the Sewua Hospital, that is supposed to be the regional hospital in Ashanti, do you know that there's not properly so-called regional hospital in Ashanti region? So all the hospitals we have helping Kompanochi are small district hospitals. If you, some of the Suntreso and the rest, if you enter them, these are very, very small hospitals. So let's operationalize Sewua. That one, the last time we heard about it, there was a simple road that is preventing commissioning. Sometimes they said ECG transformer.
Yeah.
That is, and these are basic, we think these are things that if leadership, the Ministry of Health want to do, these are things they can take a month to do. There's a hospital at Trede we think is complete for operationalization. For instance, that's why I said the politics of it. But we know that in operationalizing a hospital, sometimes not all the things are even complete. But we go in and we will be there with the engineers for, say, a year.
Okay.
And then the full operationalization will be achieved. There's another hospital at Oforukrum constituency. Is it Apiedu Kokobeng or so? That will serve the people of Oforukrum. If we operationalize that, that will help. But ultimately, there's another angle to it. Where are the personnel? Because if you go to the regional health directorate, they're also complaining about doctors and nurses. And government is not recruiting. And people are also leaving. Another leg of the, and this, some of the brain drain that we so call it is sometimes also now
occasioned by this.
Both present and former governments officially also take people out, including those who are leaving. And another angle is personnel for the emergency care. The truth is that the recruiting agencies prefer emergency specialized nurses, for instance, to travel. So if you are an emergency nurse, you become what police will call flight risk or something. I mean, the recruiting agencies want you even than a general nurse.
General, okay.
Yes, and so they leave. And so we should expedite action on training. The emergency nurses are trained by KNUST and the Ghana College. We should be training more to fill those places and recruiting nurses. We have nurses sitting home from 2021, batch up to now. If they can do that, that is what solves the problem immediately. And not the suspension or otherwise of the CCU.
So as it stands now, you've made 3 demands based on your statement. Are you saying that all those 3 demands have to be met before you resume work, or at least can one of them be met in the meantime? What exactly is the communication?
We know that, I mean, like if we say operationalize these facilities, we can't say that till you operationalize them, we are not going back to work. That is not a fair statement. But the regional minister, who is himself a medical doctor and a health personnel, had a fantastic meeting with us. In fact, when we were leaving that room, we were so happy. We were just moving down to come and call off the strike. So the ministry's release came and the grounds changed again.
What was it about his statement that angered you? I'm trying to understand.
No, the regional minister assured us that the ministry will release a statement, and he is also going to release the statement, and after that, we will release the statement. So we're expecting a soothing kind of release so that we can use it as an opportunity to calm down our constituents. But what came was explanation and justifying and doing all those things. You see, even we may not understand the higher governance issues. What we are used to is our clinical decisions, which we thought at that time was right. And so maybe if the minister could have used that as a warning to the CEO that next time your clinical team tells you this, escalate it to the minister or to your board. So that would have been fair. For now, we feel that our clinical decision has landed the CEO. Our perfect, internationally accepted clinical decision has landed the CEO in trouble. And so as workers, we should not leave him to suffer alone. And so that is the government of the issue.
So it's the justification in that statement that's angered you. Clearly understood. Thank you, Jones. Let me come back to you, Doc.
So let me just, on that end, before Jones will run away, quote an excerpt from their statement and plead with them before I give why I said the minister is not in error. They state in part that the members wish to emphasize that this action is not intended to undermine healthcare delivery, but rather draw urgent national attention to issues of patient and caregiver safety, clinical governance, professional accountability, and sustainability of healthcare services at Ghana's second largest teaching hospital. I want to stand on this statement and plead with my colleagues, doctors, nurses, all cadre of healthcare workers in Komfanoche listening to me this morning, including Jones, that their strike is having an unintended consequences. This was not their intention, that patients should suffer. And so for that reason, they should call it off. Secondly, their real intention is to draw urgent national attention. I want to say that national attention has been drawn. Is the reason why we are discussing it here. The board met the minister yesterday. The regional minister came in. Since all this have come in, they should try and make sure that there is patient safety and patient care and continue. And for that reason, I'm pleading with them to call off. Now, let me just summarize why I said the minister technically was not in error. Now, Bella, on the 27th of February, the president, in giving his State of the Nation address, stated, and I want to quote, patients facing emergencies must be received and given help, even under makeshift conditions. This is what the president stated, and I just quote directly from his statement. And so if you are a minister of health, your duty is to ensure that this kind of directive is carried out. And so when people have challenges, the least is that they should at least get back to the minister so that he knows. For instance, in Kolebu, in response to this directive, we as a board further gave directives based on this. And that's what resulted in the issue that they said patients were lying on the floor and all of that, because we said no patient should be sent away without triage.
Okay.
We didn't say don't turn away, but triage first.
Okay.
Does the patient have the chance of surviving? Can we do some minimum intervention before we send this patient away? If this is our directive in Kolebu in compliance with the president's directive. What happened in Komfanochi? Why I'm saying technically the minister acted in accordance with governance principles. The government hospital technically is his hospital. When you close your doors, it means that you don't even have an opportunity to see anyone, to see what they are coming with, whether you'll be able to manage or you cannot manage. They had done a perfect work in the background. For instance, patient inflow into Komfanochi is two main sources. Patients may come there themselves, or they may come from other hospitals. Okay. They had linked up with all these referral facilities and say that patients only come, and they can exit the hospital in two ways. Majority of them will recover and go home. Some, unfortunately, will die. That's the only way people exit the hospital. They met and decided that, no, there must be a third alternative, which is that they can do what we call reverse referral. Komfanochi can refer stable patients to these other facilities.
Okay.
And all the facilities stated what capacity they had to be able to manage all of this. So where the error comes in the communication is this. They could have communicated this kind of decision after they have concluded. First, to the minister to inform him of all the challenges they have. Second, to these facilities, that because we are overwhelmed, don't bring, hold on. We will come and help you. Now, for the general public, someone who has been involved in an accident, someone who has been a collapse at home, and they are rushing the person in, the minimum that person deserves is at least a triage. Okay. See the person, assess. Then my final bit is that the minister has been most understood as far as this is concerned. Most understood. And because of that, people are vilifying him unnecessarily. People are assuming that the minister doesn't understand the challenges of the emergency system.
Does he really?
He does.
So if he does, and that's the concern, if he does, is suspending the CEO the best way to go?
So
when clearly
the
there are issues to be addressed.
The CEO was not to solve the emergency problem.
What was it to do?
The suspension of the CEO, as I'm telling you, there is a breach of a directive from the president.
Okay.
And you are my subordinate. President is above the minister. He has given a directive. The minister must ensure full implementation of same. The minister invited the CEO, listened to him and everything, and told him that, look, even though all decisions may be right, for not going through ABC, you need to step aside.
Okay.
And I ask them to investigate what has happened.
Let me bring Dr. Mako in to respond to this. I mean, does his explanation
with the sentiments of a lot of my colleagues? We have a lot of group pages. I'm pretty sure Doc is even on them. And as our former GMA secretary, I can imagine how difficult it is for him this morning to come and defend some of the things that have been going on in the health sector. First, I would like to make it clear that the reaction of GMA and the GRN, the Nurses and Midwives Association, is not just premised on this incident at Komfanochi. It is a continued pattern from the Minister of Health that health workers have seen and have gotten to a point where we feel like we must speak back. First, there was the Tamale incident, where the Minister of Health went into the center of the emergency room to conduct a mortality audit there in front of other patients, patient relatives, all of that. We saw the video and the bravado and the rude manner with which he was addressing the very young medical professionals who were there. I won't sit here and say that as medical professionals we are infallible or we don't make mistakes, but it is very important to recognize how much they put in and how much sacrifices they do. I graduated not too long ago. Right after I graduated, another group in my class group was created for USMLE, was created for PLAB, because after going through the fire that we go through here in Ghana for the medical training, you will not write the USMLE and fail. You will not write the PLAB and fail. You will score in flying colors and you can immediately move and be taking 10 times what you earn here. Some of them decide to do otherwise. Let's stay here. Let's do our residency. Let's put in our best to ensure that we can raise Ghana. Because we've always had the issue of brain drain. So for those who are staying, they're making a conscious decision to stay and help the nation. That seems to have been pushed aside. There seems to be a very confrontational nature from this Minister of Health. And that is what has caused this. Because if he took his time to understand the situation, he would have realized that there was never really a directive at Komfanochi to turn people away. Just like Dr. Prof just said,
yeah.
They were going to triage. And if you are triaged orange or yellow, then you are sent to Menchia, then you are sent to Suntreso, because the emergency room, the accident and emergency at Komfanochi was full. Thursday, I found myself lucky enough to have gone to Komfanochi. I went to Kumasi for a day, and born and bred there, trained there. I passed by the emergency room. I passed by Komfanochi. The A&E is like the first place you pass. There are wheelchairs in the ambulance bay with people taking drips. All the hallways in the A&E of Komfanochi have been turned into makeshift situations for patients to be treated. It is at the height of this that a clinical decision is taken. And like everybody has said, this decision to close down an ER or to limit services is not new. It is actually best practice in medicine. I have before me a chart from the NHS. This is the UK. This is supposed to be an advanced civilization, an advanced healthcare system. In 2026 alone, I am seeing about 7 critical incidents declared. So 7 instances in the UK NHS where they found that they could not reasonably and safely accept more patients. So it's nothing new. And if the minister was coachable, was leaning on the advice of the seasoned professionals in the ministry, he wouldn't have found himself in this mess.
Is that what it really is? Because we listened to Prof and he says that there may have been a communication gap at this point, because whatever decision was taken amongst the doctors and the administration, they should have escalated it to the minister first before announcing it
the buck
officially.
Stops with the minister. When he brought out this directive that the president has said nobody should be turned away, isn't that where the minister should have ensured that there are SOPs everywhere and what those SOPs are? That is his job. So if you sleep on your job, you don't then come back and
it's
try
unfair
and...
to say sleeping on his
It's not
job.
very unfair. And I'll continue to explain.
It's unfair to say that he's sleeping on his job.
He was the Minister of Health. So if we are assigning responsibility, shouldn't it be the one at the top who is in charge of the entire architecture? You said there's a directive from the president that nobody should be turned away.
I mean, we all heard the directive.
Yes,
so
if you listen, no, but you are the minister.
There was a directive.
You are the
we heard
minister.
from the president.
You are the minister in charge of this ministry. You are supposed to oversee everything that goes on there. A directive has come. How are you going to ensure that this is implemented around all these hospitals? When you found out that in effect, people are actually not being turned away. Komfanochi is one of the hospitals that we've never had a no-birth syndrome case from, if we are being honest. Whenever this Charles Emisa case, may his soul rest in peace, it's involved Police Hospital, Ridge Hospital, Kolebu. There was another instance somewhere in 2022 or 2023. It involved the same Ridge Hospital, Police Hospital. Have we ever heard anything like that in Komfanochi? No, because they accept everybody. So for Komfanochi to decide that we need to do something about it, it was an urgent and serious matter. And so, as sector minister, if he was not overly confrontational, and I'm saying this is not the first instance, and the GMA and the Nurses Association's reaction to this matter, it is not just on the back of a CAT CEO suspension. No, it is the continued behavior and conduct of the Minister of Health that they find overly confrontational.
Have they told you that personally?
I'm a member of GMA, so I'm speaking as a member of GMA to you. And like I said, I started by saying that I am going to be sharing a lot of the sentiments of my colleagues this morning. It's something that has gone on. We saw how this recruitment scandal was handled with the nurses. You promise them automatic posting. You are barely able to absorb more than 20,000. You are not able to tell them anything good. And I wish I could find that video of you where he was interviewed on XYZ on the recruitment issue as sitting Minister of Health. These are all things people see. We remember what happened at Ridge Hospital with one of the NDC associates, Ralph St. Patrick. When he went into the ER at Ridge Hospital and caused commotion there, and the reaction that the minister had with this person, it was also something that the doctors and nurses were not happy about. But let me land.
Hold on.
If you would remember.
I'll let you continue, but we need to fix a technical challenge on your microphone. So just hold on. No, we could hear everything, but of course, the technical team wants to fix that. So I will come back to you shortly. There's just something, I don't know if Jones is still on Zoom. There's something I quickly want to check with Jones before you go. So Prof indicated that, of course, if the decision was taken amongst yourselves and at management level, the ideal thing was to now escalate it to the Minister of Health before going ahead to communicate this decision to the general public. Do you know if by any chance that was done?
No, I have no capacity to know, but because you know the position of the CEO.
Did you bother to find out then before issuing the statement?
No, the CEO knows that he's sitting in a political office, and so he will not dare say whether those things were done or not.
Why
so we don't
won't
want he? He has not told us to, but that's why we come in here. We beg the minister, and we asked Professor Bell, you as a health committee chair, and to at least for now. This decision, we feel that we are part, and so we feel that we have landed the CEO in trouble. So at least for this instance, he should rescind the decision of his suspension, so that we will know that next time, I'm sure the CEO himself will learn.
Okay.
He will learn from this, because as at now, we feel as professional bodies that we have taken a very good professional decision, like they have all said in the studio. And that has landed our CEO in trouble. And so we beg him. But
your CEO is also begging you to go back to work.
No, he is doing his part. I mean, where he is now, I don't envy him. His position now is like, he knows what he has done is right. But maybe it was not communicated well, like Professor Bayo is saying. And because of that, he's suffering. We too cannot leave him. So, Bella, please ask the minister and the rest of people who can take that decision to ask them to resign their decision so that our CEO comes back. And then
we'll leave that for Prof to do. Don't worry. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jones.
The firm stance taken by the minister has not benefited anybody at all in this matter, because he has issued 2 statements or so since the whole strike matter happened. What happens if you rescind the suspension? And I'm not here to essentially defend the CEO of Komfanoche. I want to make that clear. We had a really good CEO of Komfanoche, Professor Ochirade Mensah Mozart, who was doing all this wonderful work with Heal Komfanoche, all of that. Change of government, you change the CEO, that's all fine. We've got a new CEO. He is doing something with clear, proper clinical judgment, and you find it right to scapegoat him. That's really not something that we as an association want to stand for, because what that means is that next time you could go and make a purely clinical decision somewhere to the benefits of the patient and your own safety, and you will be reprimanded for it. We just don't want that precedent to exist. I was also talking about the way his posture seems to have his constant vilification seems to have wanted to turn like the sentiments of Ghanaians against medical doctors. Now, there are very serious videos that we see around of people, patient relatives. The last one I saw was a patient relative going to one of our district hospitals. It is past visiting hours, and a midwife tells the person that, oh, it's past visiting hours and all of that. And you should see the way this midwife was beaten. The videos are everywhere, and people are complaining. They're like, if you want to take your time, no, there's always confrontation with the health ministry and the workers since he came in. It started with
GRNA. How are you blaming the health minister for this? This is an isolated case.
It is the posture that he has taken since he came into office.
You are blaming someone's decision to get involved in a physical altercation.
Do you remember
the
the back and forth that he had with the PR of the GRNMA? Do you remember that?
I'm trying to connect the two.
No, do you remember that?
I'm trying to connect the two.
I have given you a series of instances where his behavior was not what was required of the Minister of Health with regards to dealing with professionals that work under him. And so, if you continue to do that, it creates the impression that you are always ready to vilify the person that's at the bottom of the chain in the Ministry of Health, the practitioner who is actually doing all the shifts, instead of fixing the systemic issues. We can also go to his release. Let me just quickly finish this, please. We can also go to his release on the key interventions that he has taken to solve the problem, because the impression that we are trying to create this morning is that the minister has done nothing wrong and he's putting measures in place to solve the problem. How is efforts to complete and operationalize select Agenda 111 hospitals. These efforts and things have been there a long time. I have videos of the hospital. I have videos of the Forecom hospital that they spoke about. And I hope you can play it to your viewers and they can all judge if that facility should have been sitting for 17 months with no work done. I haven't added Afari.
I'm just bringing that in. If you're bringing all these, I'm also bringing in Afari Hospital,
So I was not
all these hospitals, ideally, don't you think they should have been completed under the previous administration?
Do you realize that the Afari Hospital and the Sewa Hospital was started in 2008 by President Kufuor?
Exactly.
NDC was also in government for 8 years prior to that. Did they finish it?
Fair point.
So right now, who is in government now? It's the NDC.
So
the NDC has been in government for 17 months.
If they could not complete it, then it was one of the reasons they were kicked out.
Yes.
And then the NPP was put in power. You also had 8 years.
Bella,
you did not complete it. Now the concern is that why didn't you retool some of these hospitals? Why didn't you complete some of these hospitals that were abandoned instead of investing money in Agenda 111?
I feel like this is the line of questioning that is problematic because when it comes to the matter of health, it is best we do not politicize it.
Nobody's politicizing.
Yes, and I'll explain everything for you.
You went that direction.
Yes, no, you didn't let me land with even what I was
on this.
saying.
I just have a minute for you so I can go to council.
No, you've put out a lot that I need to speak to.
Unfortunately, I need to manage time. So you go ahead.
The NDC also had 8 years where they even decided to move Sewa to Tamale, blah, blah. It did all of those rounds before the MPP came back into power. By the time the MPP was leaving power in 2025 January, the only thing that was outstanding for Sewa was not even a power plant. It was an HMU, which the former advisor,
what is an HMU?
It's part of the power system. So they had gotten a new transformer for Sewa, everything. And from the ECG, we needed an HMU to complete that, which the former advisor for health, Dr. Nsiasari, purchased before leaving office in January 2025. We are in June 2026. The doors to that hospital has not been opened. So how is it still a matter of the MPP? The MPP has been out of office. And back to the issue of trade Agenda 111 and the Oforicom Agenda 111.
Let me hold on.
This Agenda 111
Doc, I'll let you in, but at least
was started in 2022, if I'm not wrong. So it took 24 months to get these two hospitals to the position that they were in by December 2024. It has been 17 months. Not even a block has been added. But there's a full-time security team there to prevent people from making videos. This is the extent to the negligence and the lack of effort we are seeing in the health sector.
Let me bring counsel in. You've made your point.
And so this constant thing of what happened to the MPP is no longer empowered to operationalize these hospitals. It has been far too long and nothing has been done.
All right. Counsel, let me bring you in on the issue of law, because if you look at Section 162 of the Labour Act 2003, Act 651, it outlines the strict procedures for handling these situations. Yeah. Of course, I mean, it says explicitly that parties in these sectors, in an attempt to, settle these disputes, must do it within 3 days, failing which the issue must be referred to the NLC for compulsory arbitration. So in this case, this matter started on the 2nd of June. Today is what? The 9th of June. So it's gone beyond that 3 days. Legally, what should be the next step?
No, but I mean, Bella, you gloss over the fact that they notified the board on the 5th of June and went on strike on the 6th. Because the NLC has issued a letter to them, asking them to come to the negotiation table, outlining some of these infractions.
Yeah.
And you will notice that it's becoming a pattern. Because when you look at the issue that led to this strike, it's an issue that if they had, first of all, had resort to the legal requirement or the framework provided in the National Labour Act, the Labour Act 2003, Act 651, they would have been able to resolve this issue. Because in essence, they're asking the CEO to be reinstated or to be called back. This is an issue I feel if they had handled it in an appropriate manner, the minister should have or would ordinarily listen to this issue. So the NLC has called them based on inactivating 8 powers under Act 651 to bring them onto the negotiation table, and has asked them and has even declared their strike as illegal. But Ballard, it is one thing to call them onto the negotiation table, another thing for them to listen to you. Because this is not the first time organized labor will be going against the Labor Act. We've witnessed it one too many.
Yeah.
And it calls for a review of the Labor Act. I've always said that the NLC must be given a force. The force that it can use to punish. Because at the moment, when you look at the architecture of the NLC, it is too weak. And I've said that people feel that NLC is as a requisite tool to exact obedience or compliance. But I don't see it. When you look at the architecture of Access 5.1, it is too weak. And the lapses are grave that we need to review and amend the provision so that some of these things, the NLC will be able to resolve them. But, Bella, what we are witnessing is a breakdown in the balance between political authority and professional discretion. It's as clear as daylight. And while I believe that every government has a duty to formulate policies to order the society, particularly to implement their sworn promises to the people, I feel everybody must also ensure policy coherence. In fact, anyone who interacts with the policy at both the micro and the macro level must ensure that they are working towards the achievement of these policies. So the government has a duty again, a corresponding duty to ensure that everybody align. In other words, everybody works towards the achievement of these policies. And when there's threat or when these policies are threatened, the government again has a duty to make sure that they put everybody on the same line.
Okay.
But Bella, let me advise that sometimes in the discharge of your duty or in ensuring that there is policy coherence, we must exercise restraint as well as institutional respect, not sanctions that could destabilize delivery or service delivery, as we are witnessing. I think this is an issue that can be resolved within a space of 24 hours. I would advise that even though the minister's decision was to appease, I would say largely the president, I don't think the president will be happy with what is playing out. Because if you feel that somebody had gone against a presidential directive, you must also understand that when it comes to frontline decision making, professionals retain their professional discretion, particularly when lives are at stake. And understand what process, because the thing is that there's a chain of command, and in taking a decision, you are not working in silos as a management because you have a board. So same must be communicated to the board, and the board has a reporting authority, which is a minister. So they should have escalated the conversation. I'm sure.
As it stands now, we don't know if they did because Jones was not able to tell us exactly if that was done. But
so the thing is that there's a chain of reporting, which said chain must be adhered to. And if there's a breach, obviously somebody will feel hurt or threatened. And in this case, it appears so because the minister feel you are going against the presidential directive. And I'm saying that, Bella, if the president should hear this, I think he won't be happy with what is playing out.
He won't be happy with which decision exactly?
No, the suspension of the CEO, which said suspension, has led to the strike.
He won't be happy about that.
Yes, because why would he be happy? Because the thing is that this has a likelihood of affecting patients. In terms of the quality of service, they will receive at the hospital. It is, and this is a government that recently launched the comprehensive free primary health care. So obviously the government will not be happy with what is happening. But I feel we've gotten to a point where the minister must set aside all forms of political ego and political authority, reinstate or call back the suspended CEO, and let the workers or the health professionals go back to their responsibilities. I think it's as simple as that.
How does he exert authority when he does that? Because again, the president has given a directive. If he should call him back, I mean, fair points that you make, but if he should call him back, does that not also communicate something differently to the health workers that even though the president has given this directive, we can still go ahead and flout it?
Well, from Jones' submission, you realize that he has noticed some missteps. And he even said that they are striking because they feel they were part of the decision making that has led to the suspension. So he has noticed from his submission, that was, in fact, in his entire submission, that is what I got from it, that he has noticed some missteps in terms of the governance of the various hospitals. And as Prof said, the thing is that the hospitals are, let me say, their CEO is a health minister. Mm-hmm. So the health professionals are discharging service to the satisfaction of the Ghanaians. And having realized the misstep, I think the time is ripe for the two parties to come to the negotiation table and resolve this matter amicably. But Bella, I'm saying that even where policy, clear directive exists, frontline health decisions must retain professional discretion, especially when lives are at stake. So even though they miss some steps, because the decision, and as Prof said, the decision was clinical. In fact, hearing the justification for the basis for this decision, I have no misgivings that they arrive at the right decision. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that even where the president has given an actual directive, so long as the directive has a way of affecting the lives of patients, health management reserve the responsibility, professional discretion to breach it.
All right. Jones, if you are still there, please don't go. There's a very important question I want to ask you before this conversation ends. So please stay on there. But let me bring Dr. Ramsey in. I mean, where do you position all of this? There are patients who are stranded. They need medical care. But the doctors and nurses are also saying that if you don't operationalize these other hospitals, then we cannot continue to take the pressure that we're getting at Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital.
Well, let me say a very good morning to your good self and to my colleagues on this platform. And say a very good morning to Professor Frimpong Boateng, the former Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. And indeed, when it comes to erudition in cardiology, I think that he stands tall in this country. And a very virtuous senior citizen for that matter. Bella, what is happening in Komfo Anokye today is no different from what is happening or what has happened in Rich, what has happened in Kolebu, or what has happened in Tamale. These symptoms of, I would say, failure of our healthcare delivery system are as old as Adam. And we know why these issues continue to face us every time we go to the hospital. Bella, we were in this country, and let me state that I stand with the highly stoical doctors and healthcare personnel of this land. They have done so much under certain compromised positions, right? And sacrificed a lot to ensure that healthcare is delivered to our people. We know the issues and we can play politics with it. But at the end of the day, it's not going to solve anything. Bella, we're in this country. And I quite like the fact that you are questioning issues of non-continuity of projects by our two leading political parties, the MPP and the NDC. At the end of the day, the MPP did not bring any monies into the consolidated fund. It is our taxpayers' money. Likewise, the NDC. And they have a fiduciary duty to ensure that the lives of Ghanaians are held in high esteem and are protected at all costs. Bella, we are in this country again, and there's an old saying that you reap what you sow, right? We are reaping what we've allowed the MPP to sow, and indeed the NDC. But in recent times, the MPP, I have heard the communicator from the MPP, and she made a statement. Dr. Akuya said, and I paraphrase. If I paraphrase you wrong, please correct me. She said that negligence and lack of effort in Ashanti region have contributed to this issue on the part of the minister, right? Or I'll say the Ministry of Health. Bella, their leadership, and I'm talking about Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, sank our $97 million in a hole.
Which hole?
In a hole. In a hole. In a hole.
We are talking about NDC.
Excuse me. No, when you were speaking, I was quiet.
Don't worry.
When you were speaking, I was quiet. So, please offer me that respect. At least when you were speaking, I was quiet. I'm saying that you made a statement that they made no effort. You understand? And they had no political will in that regard. That is the statement you made. And I'm saying that your government sank $97 million in a hole. We spent $245 million on the All African Games that had no economic benefit to the country. $245 million could have been used to complete most of these Agenda 111 hospitals. You spent $400 million on Agenda 111, and you told us that the cost of Agenda 111 would have been what? Less than $50 million, about $12 million. That's the cost.
Nobody said that.
No.
Was it not 1.8 billion.
I'm coming.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm coming.
Hold on, Dr. Kia.
Per facility. That's what I'm saying. Per facility. Yes. I'm saying that you spent $400 million on Agenda 111. That's a fact. Again, if you divide $400 million, right, by that cost per facility, you have about 33 Agenda 111 hospitals that should have been built by now and fully operational. Your former Minister for Finance, Honorable Amin Adam, stated that they only finished 3 Agenda 111 hospitals. Yes, still, your president, together with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, an economic whiz kid, who promised the people of Ghana sudden relief, could not finish all these 111 hospitals and told us that it was an over-ambitious dream. And lied in the
said the completion.
He said it was over-ambitious.
He said the completion time.
I am saying that
over-ambitious,
Bella,
not the entire project.
Bella,
just the completion.
But he promised that he was going to finish by the end of his tenure. That is what I'm saying. And so all these things drive us to the current situations that we're dealing with. It is fantastic to have 111 hospitals, district hospitals across the country. That would relieve a lot of these teaching hospitals and regional hospitals of these issues of no bed syndrome and overcapacity, right? I think that would have, if they had solved this issue, it would have been perfect. Then we come to the ambulance saga scandal. Bella, they spent $35 million on spare parts of ambulance. And if you divide $35 million by $35 million by 307 ambulances, right? You have a cost of about $114,000 per ambulance.
She's asking a question.
No, I'm coming.
We've been in opposition for 18 months. Arrest somebody or stop. Everything you said here.
Excuse me. When you were speaking, I was quiet.
Bella, has anybody been prosecuted?
Ambulance in particular.
We are talking about a problem in Ashanti region. As an opposition party,
when you were speaking, I was quiet.
Talking about another opposition party.
We are talking about Ghana. No.
What is this?
Now, country, cleaner. And also,
you make your point.
Do you understand what I'm talking about? You don't have clean hands. You have no merit whatsoever to talk about or criticize any party.
Always talking about
that's what I'm saying. That if you had completed the 111 hospitals, you see, Bella, I will not tolerate such disrespect on this platform.
Dr. Ramsey, please make your
when you were speaking, I was quiet.
I've
you understand what I'm saying? When she was speaking, I was quiet. You are a lady. You respect yourself.
I've signaled her. She's gone quiet, please.
Now,
so let's.
They capped NHIS under Act 947. Monies that were supposed to go to our healthcare service delivery, they capped it and they channeled it to other bogus expenditure that we didn't see real economic development and real-time economic opportunity for our people. So what are they talking about? That's why I'm saying that the last thing we would want to hear is MPP, right? Trying to criticize anybody or trying to put the blame on anybody. We are not going to take scripture lessons from a drinking bar. Neither are we going to take moral lessons from a brothel. We have to subject this clearly to them. That you failed in all regard. The people of Ghana were expecting better from you. You did not do anything about it. Now let's move to the current.
Can we come to the issue now?
I've tackled that aspect. Okay. Yeah, so I've tackled that. Now let's move to the issue now. Bella, I think that now that government hands are tied with, financial restraints and all that, they should bring in the private sector to see how best they can be able to finalize and finish the remaining Agenda 111 hospitals that are not completed. We need private financing, and then have like a regime, a cost regime structure that would make sure that the private entity will not overprice Ghanaian citizens that are seeking healthcare delivery within the district levels. Bella, and I also believe that the current Mahama Cares Fund should also be used not only to support chronic diseases as well, but to also tailor some form of specialist training and the training of some emergency personnel, so that we can be able to supply them to other rural areas. Because, you know, there's a huge concentration of specialists within the urban areas. And there's a huge disparity between specialists within the urban and then rural areas. And that is why I believe that if we're able to ensure that there's an egalitarian distribution of healthcare personnel across the country, it would go a long way. And also supporting the mitigation of the healthcare infrastructure deficit that we have, it would go a long way to solving the issues that we're talking about today.
But where do you position the minister's decision to suspend the CEO? Was it a good decision or not?
I think that it was not a good decision. I mean, I see it as a scapegoating approach, because we all know the current challenges that the Ghana Health Service is dealing with. We know the challenges in our healthcare service sector, and that is why when politicians are sick, Bella, they do not go to the Kolebus and the rich hospitals that you and I go to.
Where do they go?
Oh, Bella, are you asking me?
Tell us.
Bella, where do they go? They charter a flight or take an airplane and go to the UK or the US
we
to
saw
seek
how during
service
the
delivery.
COVID period,
Bella,
not during, were at UGMC as
Bella,
well.
what do you mean during COVID? What do you mean during COVID? But what I'm saying is that, Bella, the people of Ghana deserve better.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Ramsey. Let me bring you back in, Prof.
Bella, I think I have already made an appeal to my colleagues that the perception that the minister and, for that matter, government does not understand the challenges that they are going through is not true. It's miscommunication, misunderstanding, and wrong perception, and therefore they should appreciate. And I want to itemize some of the things that the ministry and the government is doing for my colleagues to know that really understand the situation on the ground. When this minister took up and he was determined to end the no-bed syndrome, is the reason why the president, in his statement, he prefaced it by saying that the ministry will soon come out with guidelines to end the unacceptable no-bed syndrome. This is because some work was even ongoing before that State of the Nation address. One of them was that we said, how can we use IT and AI to end this no-bed syndrome? Because data showed us that whenever we say no-bed, and if you remember, I made a statement on the floor of Parliament explaining what no-bed meant, because it means different things at different times and at different facilities, and people do not appreciate it. We looked at the data. A hospital like Kolebu, our bed occupancy for the whole year is no more than 60%. So how then will you say there's no bed? You may go to other hospitals. The bed occupancy is not 100%. How then do we say there's no bed?
That's what the data says.
Yes.
Yet we see people lying on the floor.
At the emergency. So you see, the issue is patient flow and redistribution. Every health system occasionally, even the UK that my colleague made reference to, sometimes is overwhelmed. And you see ambulances in queue, waiting to discharge people at the ER. That is normal in any health system. The capacity of that healthcare system to recalibrate quickly is what determines its resilience. Now, when we realize this data, we decided, can we use AI and IT to solve this? And the minister constituted a team that has been working for how many months? And we are just in the process of about to launch what we call a national integrated bed management and referral system. This is what I believe is a game changer as far as our emergency care.
Doc, we seem to be launching a lot of things, so.
No, but I'm saying this one.
We seem to be launching a whole lot of things, but the situation still persists.
No, but this hasn't come light yet. And there's a reason why we didn't come out to launch its policy. We've been working in the background. Bella, as of today, every hospital bed in Kolebu has been tagged with a QR code, a barcode, right? We've tagged all hospital beds in the teaching hospitals and all regional hospitals. We have a system that we have developed with a national command center. With a device, you scan the bed and you can update the status of that bed. At real time, the minister in his office and people at this National Command Center can see all the bed situation in this country. So if you tell me there's no bed at Kolebu emergency, at the click of a button, I should be able to tell. In the surgical ward, are there beds? In the medical ward, are there beds? In the maternity ward, are there beds? Why are we not moving patients from the emergency to this ward so that the emergency can be free?
How are we going to also ensure that people don't take advantage of this? Because again, we know it's protocol. I understand that, yes, we're trying to
Once there's transparency and all the actions are time-stamped.
Can we trust that there will be transparency?
There will be. As I'm saying, she as a doctor, when she logs onto that app and wants to refer a patient, can tell what kind of specialists are at Kolebu and what beds are available.
Okay.
And so when she's referring the patient there, someone cannot sit in Kolebu and say, I won't take.
Okay.
And there's a center sitting down and monitoring all of this. Our ambulances will no longer fly blind. Ambulances today will carry patients and be knocking on doors. Now an ambulance picks a patient and at the click of a button, they tell the number of kilometers to the nearest hospital, an estimated travel time that to take them to get to the nearest hospital and what type of specialists are available. This is something we have developed over the period. The command center is set. Konfanochi's command center has been set. Kolebu's command center. All the teaching hospitals have mini command centers set. And we want to dry run it first before we actually go live.
So when do you give us timelines?
We had given ourselves this June to do a dry run.
Okay.
Because we have done all the tagging, we've done the setup.
So
just 2 weeks ago.
July?
And she mentioned
that we'll go live with it.
Oh, hopefully by July we should. Hopefully.
Okay.
Because these are
Doc, we're going to take your word for it.
These are IT staff. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully.
Okay.
Because we've worked with it, and there's a lot of things that can come.
That's okay.
Let me just wrap up. You know, she took a lot of time.
Even before you wrap up, let me just also bring this in. Yes, you've told us what you're doing to address the no bed syndrome.
Yes.
But we still have hospitals that are rotting away.
So I'm coming to that.
Give us timelines as to when we can complete, for example, Afari Military Hospital, Trede, Sewa, so that we can now take off the pressure.
When I said that there's a lot of misinformation and the government is not properly understood, especially the minister is not understood. Eurojet projects were 9 hospitals. Afari is a military hospital. It's not under the Ministry of Health. Sewa is under the Ministry of Health. And so 8 of the hospitals under the Ministry of Health. Of the 9 hospitals, 3 remain uncompleted, of which Afari is 1, Sewa is 1, and Salaga. And if you check, even in our manifesto, we made commitment to Salaga and to these hospitals. So since we came, government has not slept on this issue. As we speak now, the substation in Sewa is complete. But it is a connection of Sewa to that substation, so that there's power within.
Okay.
They had other challenges. Boreholes have been sunk there. As we speak, and you can send journalists to check whether there are people there working now or not. As of yesterday, there were financial issues where, when government came, there was an assertion that it looks like the contractor had been overpaid. Some assertion realized that the contractor is owed, so they had to reconcile figures. And contractor says, you just give me part of the money, because it's the same contractor doing all 3 outstanding hospitals. And say, if I get part of the money, I can complete it. So all I want to assure the people of Ghana today is that government is working around the clock to solve the issue of Afari.
Okay.
Sewa. The Afari one is a military hospital, but as I know, it's still the same government, and they're working to see how they can get it on. When it comes to Agenda 111, Bella.
Doc, land on this for me, because...
Yeah, I'll land on it quickly. I'll land on it. On the Agenda 111, I think I don't want to politicize health. And you know that anytime I speak on health, I hardly want to politicize it. We have met a situation. What did we meet? 105 or so hospitals that started. The 111 not always started. Some were not started at all because of land issues. But those that were started, we assessed. We got the government architectural firm, AESL, to assess them. And then we did an audit. You remember there was a special audit that said some people were paid and didn't even go to site. Can you not do all of this and just go to start work? Then after all this assessment, we have identified about 35. Looking at regional equity in the distribution, looking at access to health facilities in these places, and government itself is devoting money to complete these 35. Then we are using creative means, bringing in other private sector players, faith-based organizations to help us complete the rest, because His Excellency John Dramani Mahama says he doesn't want any project left by the previous administration left unattended to. Okay. And so we are working at it. So I will just conclude by saying that if you accuse government or the minister that he's sleeping on the job, his attitude, all of that, please, we are not dealing with people's attitude. He is the Minister for Health today in Ghana, whether someone likes it or not. We ought to work with him.
Okay.
And he's willing. He's somebody willing to listen to the unions. With this issue that happened, he has several options. One option could have just called the CEO and talked to him. Another option could have given the CEO a caution, right? A written caution. These are the disciplinary procedures. Another option could have been interdict, investigate, and then take a decision. Another option could be suspend. Another option could be dismiss outright. The CEO is an appointee of the president. The president can recall him through the minister at any point in time.
Okay.
So if the minister has made a particular decision, if you are not there, you do not understand why that decision has been made, please don't be overly critical. I can understand what we are all saying, but my last word is that my plea to my colleagues, your strike is having an unintended consequences. Please, let's return to work. You yourself have appealed. Let us return to work. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much as well. Okay, so my producers are going to let Dr.
I beg you. Let me finish. So,
producers, you give a Kia just a few minutes.
Give me 3 minutes. It's
okay,
very
3
important.
minutes, please.
Prof mentioned the National Bed Management Database, which is a very good thing. But you know, when I started, I came in very hot against the Minister of Health because, in my opinion, there's a lot that he has done that has just been regressive for the health sector. We had LIMS. So what he was describing, your ability to sit on your computer and check how many beds you had at every point in time, we had it in LIMS. So you could sit at Rage, anywhere in Rage, and you could see the bed count with LIMS.
You could see within your hospital.
That's what I'm saying.
But you cannot see integration.
Prof, let me finish.
Let
me finish. So you could see the bed count at Rage. You could see the bed count at Kolebu. So when the ambulance calls Kolebu, you could see the bed count.
So even if you don't work, let's say in Kolebu, can you still see?
It was now localized to a system. So they were building all these nodes, trying to then network all the hospitals.
Okay.
Bringing all of these hospitals onto LIMS took about 8 years. The minister came and the first thing he did was to get rid of LIMS, so we started afresh. They even had like this back and forth. That was so much that LIMS is in court.
Please let
LIMS is in court with the Minister of Health for defamation. You can have your producer fact check. LIMS has taken the Minister of Health to court for defamation because they do not agree on what it was said.
Sorry.
No, Prof, please let me.
So you are saying he did not cancel it?
He cancelled it. LIMS is not working, and anybody can fact check that LIMS is in court with the health minister for defamation because they claim the basis on which he brought to cancel the contract. We're not true.
But defamation
is a contract.
So defamation is more about the character of a person.
No, about things he said to abrogate the contract.
Why are they not cancelling? Why are they not in court?
To abrogate the contract.
Hold on. Sorry, Doctor, please stop interjecting here.
LIMS is of the view that what the minister said to abrogate the contract was not true. And so those processes are going on.
Are they contesting the cancellation of the contract as well?
No, they are contesting the grounds under which the statements that were made by the minister and the PRO with regards to LIMS. That is just by the way to tell you that we were on our way to a national bed management. We were on our way to that system. Number two, I'm sure you are very familiar with Zipline. It has also been cancelled by this minister, and he will give you an excuse for it. Now let's go back to Agenda 111 and 400 million has been spent and all of this. When it comes to the health sector, I always want to be as apolitical as possible. If there's a district hospital in every district, it is not me or you that benefits. It is the woman that goes to the market. It is the average Ghanaian. Everybody in Ghana will benefit if there's a district hospital in every district. Do you know how much money was spent on UGMC Phase 1? Almost about that 400 million. When NDC was leaving office, it was not operationalized, even though they had spent that amount of money. When the MPP came into government, those hospitals were promptly operationalized, and I wouldn't have wanted to go there. But now we have a third opposition party that only takes delight in attacking the other opposition party when we do not have the responsibility of governance.
Can you allow me to come in?
So, with the 400 million Agenda 111 money, there are
There are three Agenda 111 hospitals that are open. There are three Agenda 111 hospitals that are open in Ashanti region.
Thank you.
I can give you the video to play and see if it has taken 17 months to unlock that building.
Thank you very much.
It takes 17 months to unlock the hospital for you.
What are you talking about?
The minister should let us know.
Unfortunately, my time is up. I'm told to wrap up at this point.
We will not take spiritual lessons from a drinking bar. You know nothing about this issue.
Thank you.
You claim you are
Prof, I know you have a lot to say.
You know nothing about
but if I keep saying
$400 million expended
Dr. Ramsey.
Just three
Dr. Ramsey.
No, we haven't expended on 3 hospitals.
Hold on.
You have no idea
what are you talking about. You promised us that you're going to finish 111 hospitals.
Okay.
$400 million were spent.
Dr. Ramsey, I need to go. Okay, let me just go straight to big issue.
Only 3 hospitals.
It's sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. Whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communication, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance to a dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University of Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security, diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security, diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. Apply today, because at the University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payment. Study around your work and life and choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves structure, your future deserves strategy, your purpose deserves training. Apply now, www.ugc.edu.gh, or call them or WhatsApp them on 026-388-8555. Unfortunately, my time is up. I know that this conversation requires more time, and hopefully we can have a part 2 of this at another time so we can get into it. But I want to say thank you to my guest this morning.
You're wearing yellow for sure, so that's also good. Ghana is getting yellow.
Professor Titus Kebeyu is a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. He's also the MP for Lambusie. Yes. Also, Dr. Ramsey Nusa, Director of Political Research, United Party. He didn't wear yellow today. So
you're wearing the fire.
Dr. Ekia Amuako is the Deputy spokesperson for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the flag bearer of the NPP. She's also the spokesperson for the NPP Health Committee. Austin Braku-Powers is a private legal practitioner, and Jones Efrie Anto is the Ashanti Regional Chairman for the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwifery Association. Thank you all so much for joining us on the show. I know Prof is not happy with me, but we'll be back. We have more conversations coming up.
about climate change, climate action. And it's a conversation that's also very important to Germany in particular. And we're coming up with climate talks that's taking place in Tamale tomorrow. In fact, it's TV3 in partnership with the German embassy. And we're inviting you to Climate Talks 2026 in Tamale. And it's under the theme, Building Climate Security Resilience in Ghana. And we're hoping that you can join us so we can have a conversation on climate-induced conflicts and community resilience in northern Ghana, featuring the German ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Frederick Landschoff. And so you can watch live from the Pioneer Guest Lodge Tamale on June 10 at 10 a.m., which is tomorrow, basically, 10 a.m. on TV3 and all our digital platforms. You can be part of the conversation shaping Ghana's climate future. And I'm honored to have His Excellency in the studios with us to tell us a bit more about climate talks and, of course, why it's important to the German embassy and the German government, as well as Ghana government as well. So, Your Excellency, Frederick Landschoff, it was good to see you in the studios. How are you doing?
Good morning, Bella. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming as well. Tell us a bit about Climate Talks. When we say Climate Talks, what exactly does it mean?
Climate Talks is a brand of the German Foreign Office we started with in 2024. The German embassy here in Accra is a climate-focused embassy. And with the Climate Talks, we try to raise awareness on climate-related issues and also to provide a platform for different actors from different levels of society to communicate, to share ideas, best practices, and also to coordinate maybe on climate-related issues. Mm-hmm. And this year we are focusing particularly on the nexus between security and climate change. That's why we came up with the topic of building climate security resilience in Ghana.
I'm trying to get the connection between security and climate change. What exactly is it?
Yeah, but unfortunately there are a lot of linkages between this. Climate change is increasing pressure on natural resources, on economies, on public health, infrastructure, social security. So please let me give you two examples. Only a few weeks back, I traveled through the north and I had a few encounters with communities there. And what they were telling me is that the dry seasons are getting longer and the rainy seasons are getting much more rainy. So we see it outside in Accra over the last few weeks. And this is putting pressure on natural resources, on land degradation, and for instance, is increasing conflicts between farmers and herders. Yeah. Another example they told me about, one that really stayed with me, was that during one encounter, I asked the community representatives, why are all those people looking so aged? And he told me, because the dry seasons are getting longer, the young people, they go to the Galamsey areas. Oh. So I think it's totally understandable for a young person to dream of a better future for themselves and for their kids. But once they return, many of them are facing heavy health issues with their respiratory systems. Yeah. And also we know that, Galamsey is linked to organized crimes, to the terrorists in the north. So there's again a security linkage between security and climate.
And I think it's very important that we touch on that. But at the end of all this, what is the objective of climate talks? Because if I'm deducing from what you're saying, clearly to address some of these challenges that these individuals in the northern region are facing. But what are you hoping to get out of it particularly?
Yeah, I think the objectives are first to raise awareness and second to provide a platform. Because we as Germany, we don't know what is best for the communities in the north. Many of them know themselves what is best for them. But I think what they need is to share experiences, share best practices, and also to coordinate better with security personnel, with the people in charge on the regional level and also on the national level. Yeah. So I think communication is key, knowledge is key, and coordination is key. Absolutely. And if by the end of this year, of this project, we've seen a better communication between those different actors, those levels, and also some sharing of knowledges, this would be a very favorable outcome.
So in that case, I'm curious as to what the topics of conversation would be. Do you have a list of those?
Yeah, unfortunately, this list again is very long because there are so many fields affected by climate change. And we were discussing it intensively within the embassy, but also with government representatives during my visit to the north and also with security personnel. And the topics we are now focusing on, the key topics we would like to focus on during the upcoming series are farmer-herder conflicts, climate-induced migration, the impact of tidal waves on coastal communities, and environmental-related issues such as illegal mining.
I see. Very, very important topics.
Absolutely.
Very important topics.
I do agree.
Where's this happening, by the way?
Yeah, you know, we thought that this should not be happening again in Accra. We have a lot of discussions happening in Accra, which is good, but at the same time, when I was traveling to the north, I realized that for most of the people living in those rural areas, Accra is very far away. So that's why we came up with the idea to let the discussions take place in those areas, in those regions that are mostly affected, most vulnerable to climate change, and also the connection between climate change and security. So one is going to happen tomorrow in Tamale, in the northern region. Then we will have one in Bolgatanga in Upper East, one in Keta in the Volta region, and then 2 will happen in Accra and Kumasi, because also Accra Greater Region and the Ashanti region are affected by climate change as well. And if you want to talk to some of the key decision makers, you also have to do it sometimes in the capitals as well.
So that means that you're bringing in diversity, you're giving other people the chance to also speak to it. So it's not just those in Tamale, for example, tomorrow who would get to speak on this matter. You're opening it up to everyone else to engage as well.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the idea of the climate talks, to provide a platform for very diverse actors from all parts of society. So from the communities, but also security personnel, academics, civil society organizations, government representatives, and this from all levels, from the community level, the regional level, and the national level, and to bring them all together on one format. This is the key idea of climate talks.
I'm looking forward to it, but also I want to be part of the engagement. I would want to also share my opinion on this matter. And I may not be the only one. There are a lot of people who are watching as well who are probably wondering, how do they engage in a conversation and get their voices heard? What do they have to do?
First of all, this is where TV3 comes in. Thank you very much for the very professional and good collaboration we have had so far on this very important project. So everyone who is interested in the discussion could watch it on TV, on the screens, on their smartphones, wherever they are possible to do that. They can engage on social media. Last year we saw very intense discussions on below the social media posts, and everyone who is close to the venues is invited to join us at the discussions, because they're free of charge. And last year we saw, after the panel discussions, we always have a Q&A, and I saw some very, very vivid discussions, some very critical discussions, some people, some farmers asking very critical questions to the government representatives, for instance. And I think this is democracy at its best.
Absolutely.
So that's the main reason we are doing this.
And from what you say, I can tell that you're also very pleased that TV3 is partnering the German embassy for this as well. We're playing a key role in this, and you're playing a key role. So I'm looking forward to this partnership becoming a very fruitful one. But any final words you want to say to everyone who's watching as well, to ensure that they all participate fully in this engagement?
Sure. I mean, this is mostly about the future.
This is your camera.
This is my camera. Okay, I talk to this camera. So, yeah, please come, listen, join the conversation. Because climate change and climate is about the future, it's about the future generations and about the youth. And I think this is also why TV3 is such an important partner. So come along, watch the discussions, join the discussions, build knowledge, communicate, collaborate, and help us build a better, a secure and climate resilient future for Ghana and for future generations, for the youth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
TV3. And so we're going to be seeing you in Tamale tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe
hope to see you there too.
After that conversation, I'm curious to find out what you'd be having for lunch. It has to be some indigenous food from Tamale. Have you identified what you want yet? Tozafi, have you had that?
I'm not sure yet. I like jollof a lot.
Oh, you like jollof?
But I'm not so much now into the regional food of
Okay. So maybe we'll have to make sure someone prepares some very good jollof for you there.
Yes, please.
After, so you can enjoy it. Usually, what would you have your jollof with? Fried plantain?
With fried plantain, some fresh pepper.
Okay.
Maybe shito a bit. I like
able
spicy.
To take the pepper. Is it not too spicy for you?
No, it's not too spicy for me.
You don't sweat too much when you're having it?
No.
No?
It's okay.
Okay.
And chicken or egg.
Chicken or egg?
Yeah.
I see. You are very Ghanaian because you like eggs.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure that happens. Team, make sure it happens for us. Yeah? But we'll see you in Tamale tomorrow. Have a safe journey when you're going. And, of course, tomorrow, 10 a.m., we're going to have all the stakeholders engaging in this conversation. It's important that you take part in it because climate change affects all of us. The rains are coming. We can already see how we're told that we should expect more rains this time than we have in the last 30 years. And we're told that one of the major factors is because of climate change. But beyond that as well, even our daily lives, how does it affect us as well? So look forward to this conversation, 10 a.m. live on TV3. We're also going to be live on Facebook, on YouTube, and all our digital channels as well, so you can join in the conversation. I've been speaking to His Excellency Frederick Landshoff, and he's the Ambassador of the Federal Republic of Germany to Ghana. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Thank you very much, Bella. You're speaking very good German.
Maybe I should come for classes as well.
Yes, you should come. You're happily invited.
Definitely. Thank you very much. So we have another conversation coming up with His Excellency, of course, KKD, King Kwesi Dakwa, and he will be talking about the Caribbean-Ghana collaboration and how we can foster a better working relationship between the two. And so look forward to that conversation coming up with Cookie right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so Thursday. So it's on Thursday. Yes, it's on Thursday. We were supposed to play a match tomorrow.
We were supposed to.
Yeah, we were supposed to.
But
as it stands, it may not happen.
It's me. It won't.
It will not happen.
Yes.
Because Mr. Hart was talking about it.
Yes.
And so it's been scrapped totally.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's just take the issues one by one. So Henry Asante-Twum has been speaking about this very topic that we're discussing, whether there's a possibility of us to finish the last friendly before our first game is against Panama, right?
Yes,
that's the first one.
game against Panama.
Okay, what's he been saying?
So, I mean, there has been concerns about whether Ghana will play one more friendly before the World Cup starts. We did play a friendly against Wales with Carlos Queiroz being at the bench for the first time as a Ghana coach.
It was a draw?
Yeah, it was a draw, and we expected that Ghana would get at least one more friendly. But unfortunately, as it stands, Ghana do not have a friendly. There were talks of Honduras or Jamaica actually playing Ghana, but it seems both matches did not happen. And we did ask Henry Asante-Twum about it, and this is what he had to say.
It is a big no. We do not have any game on paper at this point. It doesn't look likely, but I am not in the position to rule out anything yet. If it is that we wake up tomorrow and he wants to play maybe a mid to low intensity, I don't think he will accept a higher intensity game at this point. But if it is that we wake up tomorrow and he wants to play a mid to low intensity game, we will make it public. But at this point, there is nothing of a sort on paper. If the coach wants a game, we arrange. If he doesn't need a game, we move. We told him about a second game. Before we played against Wales, we were all looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And collectively, we have decided to move on. So it's not about only the coach or the FA. We work hand in hand to ensure that the best possible arrangements are made for the team.
Okay, so now we do know that it's a no, it's not happening. That last game we should have played before the World Cup, so it's cancelled. I think it's better. Let's concentrate on what's important at the moment, which is our place in this competition.
Yeah.
Many people are still not confident of how well the Black Stars are going to do. And over the weekend, I heard the sports minister in one of the churches here in Accra praying.
The video, yeah.
Praying that the Black Stars will do well. But do prayers actually change anything at this point?
I mean, if you believe in the spiritual, you pray. Of course, you have to pray, but also you have to prepare.
Is there spirituality involved in football? Is there a bit of it in there?
That's what people believe. Okay. But in the end, it's about your tactics, your preparation.
Okay.
That will come to bear on the pitch.
Okay.
If you are prepared, you will win. If you are not,
okay,
I don't think you will.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
God bless the Black Stars.
Yes.
God bless Ghana. Let's continue still on the Black Stars. Let me ask from you, the sports journal first. So all this that we're picking up on social media and in the news about the English people saying they do not want to shake Thomas Partey. First of all, is that correct? Is that news accurate?
That is what the English media have reported.
Okay.
It's not something that the FA themselves have said on official capacity.
Okay.
So we don't know whether they are actually planning on doing that.
But if that's what the English media is saying, why? What has Partey done?
It's
the allegations.
The allegations.
Is he the first person?
No, he's not.
But there are some English players who've also gone through the same thing. So what are we talking about?
Yeah. So the thing I've come to realize, right? English player you mentioned, Mason Greenwood, for example, when he had that case, they put him away from Manchester United entirely.
I remember.
They put him away from the national team entirely. He was away for about 1 year, didn't play football. Eventually had to go to, Marseille, Getafe first in Spain, and then Marseille, where he settled, and now he looks in much better shape. I think the way they deal with it is very intense, even if there's no proof as to whether you are guilty or not. If it's still a case in court, they'll still sort of react in a very intense manner to it.
Yeah.
So if they actually do it, I will not be surprised. But then again, it's not something that the England FA has officially said they will do.
Okay. So we wait for what the FA will say. I mean, the day we'll meet them, we'll all be watching.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see what would happen that day.
Yeah.
All right. Keep an eye on that one for us.
Yes. And Henry did react to that as well.
All right. So let's take a look.
concerns do not travel from one member association to another. Member association concerns go to the tournament organizer or the competition owner. In that sense, I am talking about FIFA. So if the English FA have plans to do this, they will not communicate with us because we are not the organizers of the tournament. They will communicate to FIFA, and FIFA will look into it if there is a need to get us involved before they bring us in. I see it. I see this whole thing differently. I sit here every morning and I wake up to tons of emails from the English media, tons of them. I've lost count. You know, in the lead up to the game against Wales, I received 17 emails within 3 days on this Thomas issue. When the coach met the press before the game, I saw four of our brothers there, and 2 of them asked questions regarding this particular issue. The following day, as if they were not impressed by what the coach said or with the response of the coach. So the following day, a number of them also turned up again, and they were asking the same thing. So we are not. These things are not new. We have become used to these things. We have absolute confidence in what our player has told us. We have supported him right from the very beginning. He knows that we have been with him, toe to toe, shoulder to shoulder. We believe in what his legal team has told us. He has our support. And so it's not something we are focusing on. Now, these noise that come from outside sometimes aim to stabilize you, aim to take your mind off the game. It could be part of the mind games. And we are not interested in these kinds of mind games. We are focused on a mandate to deliver. We want to get the best out of our players. Thomas is one of our key players. We believe in him. We strongly trust him. We know that he will give us a good job on the field. Opinions are like noses, and we do not want to channel our energy in that area. We want to prepare us as best as we can. We want to step on the pitch, fight for the badge, fight for the people of Ghana, and be proud after that. That's it.
And that's just about it. I agree. Let's put that matter to rest. I don't even want to think about it. Let's wait for our match against England, and we'll see exactly what happens on the pitch. We are peaceful people, so if you bring peace, we'll meet you with that. Even if you bring chaos, we'll still meet you with peace. Anyway, so let's just continue. Charlie, my heart is broken this morning.
Why?
Atan, the Somalian referee, would have been the first Somalian referee to be at the World Cup.
That's true.
Since he won that award.
Yes, that's true.
Now, so what? So he got on U.S. soil. He had the visa and everything, but he was denied entry. Is that the story?
So what we understand is Somalia is on the red list.
Yeah, on the ban.
On the ban list.
President Trump's ban list.
So automatically you probably not even get a visa.
I don't think he even thought about it. Did the referee even think about it? I'm not sure he did.
I think if you are given the job by FIFA to referee in a World Cup tournament, automatically you think that you are working for FIFA in the World Cup, so you should be allowed.
Why didn't FIFA cover it for him? Why didn't they make an exception for him?
That's the thing. So that's the thing that people are going at FIFA for. Because I think it could have been a sort of discussion that should have been made between Gianni Infantino and Trump, maybe. But the case is, when FIFA released the statement about this, and they basically stated that the power is on the host country when it comes to who is allowed entry. And usually that has been the thing for years. So maybe if there was going to be a change, I think that should have been discussed beforehand. But now that this has happened, unfortunately, he cannot go.
So would he be replaced? Because I'm told there's supposed to be 54 referees for the tournament, but that reduces the number to 53. So would there be a replacement?
I'm not aware of a replacement yet. If there would be, FIFA will communicate that.
All right.
But I believe they will make do with what they have for now.
All right. I'll end it here with you because we don't have so much time on TV3 Newday this morning. But at 10 o'clock, you'll be here with your men to continue the rest of the stories. All right. Thank you very much, Billy. Let's take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll continue with a lot more here on TV3 Newday. This morning we have an extension of the Ghana Movie Awards. I'm just saying because we've got all or some of our best in the country and also from Nigeria here in the studio. Yeah. Amazing James Gardner, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the amazing James Gardner. And then seated by him is Sheyi Banigbe. Did I get it correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are the show director and a judge on Cooking with Game Changers.
The show creator.
Oh, show creator. Okay. And then, Kobi Adaodio, right? Okay. Yeah, so you are tech expert and judge also on Cooking with Game Changers. And then, of course, the one and only Jocelyn Duma. You're also an actor, a judge on. Okay. So you are the way. You are the host. You are the host.
Yeah,
okay. It's great to have all of you in studio with us this morning. Let me go straight to the show creator. Right. We've seen a number of cooking shows all across the continent, especially here in Ghana. What makes this very one special and why now?
All right. Thank you for having us. Cooking with Game Changers is special because it spotlights top business executives. It's not just anyone that knows how to cook that comes on the show.
So it's not just about actors even?
No, we are judges. We're there to eat, taste whatever they make.
Okay.
The show spotlights, when you watch the show, you watch a day in the life of a top business executive. As you'd seen in our episode 1, we have Chichi Yakubu of Yoyo and Anthony Jamefe of Caveman Watches. Okay. People that have built, their dreams and are making economic impact in society. We spotlight you, we watch a day in your life, understand how you do what you do, how you make success out of you, how you made success out of your life. And when we experience both of your lives, then both of you come into our studio and you go head to head. They competed to make Wache. And then they make it, and we, the judges...
we taste it.
Yes, and we say who the ultimate game changer is. And of course, everything is made possible by our darling host. He drives the whole ship.
Okay.
Yeah, so James is the host and we are judges. Majid is the judge as well, but he had to fly out of town.
Okay. Yeah. In Ghana, we call him our amazing James Gardner.
He is amazing.
Yeah, amazing James Gardner.
I didn't know that.
Everybody calls him. But how did you decide on him as the host?
Oh, wow. Okay, so we have Cooking with Game Changers Nigeria. It's a TV format that came out of Nigeria.
Okay.
Daniel Etim Effiong is the host of Cooking with Game Changers Nigeria.
Okay.
And in making the decision on who will take that spot from Ghana, Daniel was very much involved, alongside the fact that we were keen on... The show is about leadership. Everyone featured on the show is a leader in their own right, whether it's in tech, in entertainment, and James is a force in, the entertainment industry
100%.
here. So he ticked all the boxes, and then he added his own spice on it. I mean, he's got an amazing sense of humor and personality, so we're so happy that we made that choice.
Okay, great. Yeah. Mr. Day, so you are a judge. Jocelyn is a judge as well. Tell me, what was your experience on the very first episode? Have you been a judge on any cooking show before?
Nope. Okay. Never been a judge, never been on TV.
Wow.
Never been behind so much lights and cameras. She called me and it was about, hey, we're trying to promote young, people doing amazing things, building businesses in Ghana. And guess what? I didn't ask any questions. I said, I'm in. And today I'm on TV talking to you all this. So it's been an experience.
What was the most challenging part for you?
I think it was just how long it takes to shoot.
I know when you move home.
The coordination, the lights,
you had no idea.
Let's retake it because James didn't like his walk. All that stuff was really interesting.
The most hurtful part? When you give your best shots and then there was no sound. The sound man didn't record. Wakuma. Wow.
But it was amazing. I'll say it's something that
and you're loving it. You're loving it so far.
I'm proud of it. I love it. Yeah, it's good.
So did you really give a very good verdict at the end of the first episode? Whose Wache was really good?
They would have to watch to find that
out. We should watch and then we would know. Okay. Mazam. As for you, you are not new crowds in the camera. What was the easiest part for you?
So fun fact, before we go there, Kobe said this morning that he had a lot of catching up to do in the office because he didn't realize that this whole TV thing, all the press and going around and stuff like that. He was like,
all of it's crammed in only 30 minutes.
Listen, I have to go back he had to stay in the office till 8 p.m. yesterday just because he had to catch up because, boy, see, it's not easy.
That's what we go through. Imagine if it was a crying scene for you. and something went wrong and you had to cry and cry. Yes, and you have to exude the same emotion.
Yeah.
So it's not easy.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't care how many times you do this.
Right.
There's always something very exciting. You know, the nerves, it's exciting. You know, so I mean, again, when I got the call from Shay, I was just like, okay, I'm always the one probably hosting something, or you know. But then this time, I'm just gonna sit back and just be the judge. And I love food, so it came quite easy. So that was the easiest part, tasting the food.
What's the most difficult part for you, though? Why are you looking at me?
No, you know the funny thing? There was nothing difficult about the show. It was just, I mean, Shay made sure that everybody was, well, the production quality is amazing. I mean, everybody brung their A game. I mean, from the camera, lights, clothes. Shay was picking the clothes herself. Like, she brought accessories. She was like, makeup, everything was just provided. You know what I mean? I mean, we just showed up and then we just had to taste the food and just, and have fun. Yeah.
Have fun. Shay, economically, is this benefits in Ghana? Are you using some of our costumiers here? Are you giving us some money?
Of course. It's a Ghanaian show.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Ghanaian show that is celebrating and spotlighting the strength of, So it's really about celebrating the business strength of Ghanaians, showing that as Africans, we're not only good at singing and acting, we're also good at building, starting and scaling businesses. So of course, because this tells every Ghanaian that their dreams are valid and you can achieve whatever you want to achieve from right here in Ghana. You don't have to run away to Europe or any other place. When you watch every episode every Sunday, you realize you can do anything you want to be. You can be anything you want to be right here in Ghana, right here in Africa.
Okay. So is there any special criteria you use to select your guests?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, to be a game changer on the show, your success has to be watertight, no flash in the pan. You must be paying salaries. You must be, aiding the economy. Your story has to be replicable. If half of Ghana watches your episode and they say, you know what, we want to be like him, are we in trouble? So it's a whole lot of things that we research and look into before we can feature you to the whole world.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Mr. Host, so when are we starting this? Is it this very Sunday?
No.
It
started already.
It started already?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the premiere was actually last weekend, Saturday at Labadi Beach
I saw all the stars.
We had
Charlie, you be big man, no? You were able to bring everybody together. That's what's
it was a teamwork.
Yeah.
But so the show times, I think I'll leave that for
Sundays.
Shay.
It's actually on screens every Sunday on TV3, and there's a repeat.
What time is it on Sundays?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. on Sundays.
6 p.m.
Okay.
6
All right. And I think there's a repeat on Tuesday. I saw Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that.
It's on Onya as well, Onya TV. But
Onya?
Onya.
Can you hear Onya?
Onya.
I heard you say onions. I thought you were Onya. I say Onya.
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 Oh, stop. So it's 5:30 there. It's 6 p.m. every Sunday on TV3, and there's repeats.
Okay.
They can go on our social media at Cooking with Game Changers GH to see all of the times and the repeat and all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a teaser available for us to take a snippet of this morning. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another sizzling episode of your favorite show, Cooking with Game Changers. Let's meet our game changers.
Hi, my name is Chichi Yakubu, founder of Nyonyo Essentials. I really want to win. I'm coming in for the guide, my opponent. I will win. That is the whole mindset I'm coming because I'm never a loser. So I'm coming to win.
Hello guys, I'm Anthony Mensah Chamefe. I'm the founder of Caveman Watches. So my expectations for this cooking show, I'm quite curious to see how it would go. I don't know what dish I'll be cooking. So if it's something that I've already done before, then it will be easier for me to do. But let's see what happens. I'm sure whichever way I'll have fun.
Whether you like it or not, we have 10 seconds to go.
And I think the black pepper was got burnt.
Oh.
Yeah, so it doesn't taste, it tastes like burnt black pepper.
Oh man.
The presentation, I would say, equally on the same page.
Both of these people have done amazing.
Right.
is supposed to be watching.
So what would you call this one then?
This wire.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate game changer for today's cook-off is no one other.
James Gardner. And we're already having an argument here in studio. What do you mean shito is burnt pepper?
Okay, one quick question. When you start the process of making shito,
we don't burn
what's
it.
the color? Yeah, no, we just...
The color is like the ginger, the onion is brownish, and then it later turns to like very dark brown.
Wow.
Not burnt brown.
Okay.
So
you're saying there's no shito that's black?
No,
so why do you call it black pepper?
No. Who calls it black pepper?
It's from where it started. We'll continue this. I'll come next week for us to delve more into this.
And that's where I come to you, the judges. So what do you look out for when you're judging? Are you talking preparation, tidiness, plating, dishing, and garnishing and all
Everything
of that?
comes to play.
Okay.
I mean, as you're cooking, are you keeping your your workstation clean?
Okay.
And then once you're done, the taste is very important.
That's
like burnt shit
presentation.
Okay. You're not supposed to. But presentation is key, obviously, and then the taste.
Okay.
Mr.
Day, what do you look out for mainly? Did you know anything about cooking even before you became a judge?
He cooks egg.
I know how to eat.
Okay, so when you taste good food, you know it's good food.
Yeah, so for me, it's either it's good or bad. Like the
Okay.
details, I'm not really good at, but I can tell if it's very
So whether it's garnished or not, you really don't care. It's how it tastes in your mouth,
That
right?
was the first thing for me, and then the
Okay.
cleanliness, and then just the presentation. Because some people presented it so well that you're excited about it, you taste it, and then your score starts going down. So,
too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So you guys, thank you very much for doing this for the motherland. Thank you for doing this for Ghana. It's on for the entire season, 13 weeks. Is that what we're going to have? 18.
Yeah, we've got
So that's the
17
first
more.
season.
Yes.
Okay, so more seasons will come afterwards.
Amen.
Shayi, I can imagine the headache it's been for you putting this together with the entire team. Your list of thank yous this morning, if you have any.
My list, oh wow. First of all, to these guys. And Majid, Majid had to catch a flight, but he's the fourth judge.
Right.
So thank you to, the team.
Okay.
Without them, this would have been possible. The game changers, filming, because when you watch the show, apart from even them coming into the studio to cook, we filmed a day in their
profiles
lives.
and their intros.
We finished some filmings at 3 a.m. Because when we are filming a day in your life, we start from when you woke up. You said your prayers. You took the kids to school. We literally were filming every single thing. And for some, 3 a.m., we were wrapping up. Wow. So those guys, for every episode you see, if you can, just go on our social media, at Cooking with Game Changers GH. Say thank you for telling us your story. Because something in them had to have wanted to help and inspire someone else with their story, So to go through all of that for something...
And these are busy businessmen and women. Yeah, very
busy people.
Wow.
We weren't just picking, chefs that were trying to... These are leaders of industries, and they did that. So I'm grateful to them. I'm grateful to the director of Cooking with Game Changers. I'm grateful to the crew and to my husband. He's been my solid support,
Who's sponsoring all of this, though?
I mean, we've got sponsors. Well, let's say we've got media partners. When you watch the show, you see them.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
you
right.
see them.
Jocelyn and Kobe, you are the judges. What do you have to say before we go? Who are you grateful for? And to?
Oh, I mean, I want to say a very big thank you to Shay for, obviously considering, look, by the way, she flew everybody to Nigeria to film this and made sure that we were well taken care of. And then, again, the production quality, like, I'm repeating myself. It was just a beautiful set to be on, and everybody was just so, like, it was a team effort. It felt like family. And so I'm grateful to Kobe, to James, to Majid, to Shay, to the director, to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kobe.
And to the game changers.
Are we going to be seeing more of you?
You'll be releasing music out, an album.
You made music.
No. She's making it up, please.
Oh, wow. I see. So we're going to be seeing more of you?
Let's see, yeah.
All right.
I enjoyed it enough.
You might probably be getting a tech show because he's a tech expert.
Okay, we'll see. James, you are the host. Tell us what to expect.
So, I mean, I feel like people know me more as an actor than, as a host.
As a presenter.
That just, comes along the way.
But isn't it all in one? Can somebody be an actor and not be a presenter? I think it's possible. Yeah, it's true. It's very possible.
I think maybe like when you have your face out there, sometimes to sell the show, they will leverage on that a little bit. So you just have to make sure you master the craft, one way or the other. And I appreciate the fact that she reached out, because hosting, I wouldn't say is my stronghold, but I mean I can do it.
You're challenging yourself.
So I decided to challenge myself, because when she called about a cooking show, I'm like, I don't know, this is so new to me. But I took on the challenge, and I think it came out pretty well. I saw the premiere and it was beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I'm waiting to see it. So Shay, thank you for doing this for us. But I'm suggesting that maybe we select one of your topmost moguls in one of your episodes from Nigeria, and then the one here, let's do a jollof competition finally.
Everybody is saying this.
Let's do a jollof
you think this show can
finally
solve that thing?
No, I don't know if it will solve it. It would only, wait. It's not going to solve it. Please listen, it will not solve it. It will certify that Ghana jollof is the best. We're not here to solve any problem. It's not a challenge or a problem for us. We just need the world to understand and finally accept. That Ghana jollof is the best.
Your proposal will be considered.
Make sure I'm part of that production. I want to see what happens. But yes,
I hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this morning. So Sundays 5 p.m. right here on TV3.
Sundays 6 p.m.
Oh, I beg your pardon. So 6 p.m. Sundays, and Onia, what time?
5:30.
Okay, all on
Sundays. Yeah.
The Sunday is a busy day for you guys.
Busy.
And please take the opportunity to learn how to cook. Shito is not bench prepping.
I'll come back next week. We'll discuss this further.
Sheyi Banigbe, is that correct?
Can I just really commend James's sense of humor? You have to watch that show.
We will.
The way he engages the game changers, the judges. Oh my gosh. I just had to say that.
Amazing James Gardner.
He's not just an actor. He's an all-round, entertainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. So, Sheyi, you are the show creator. You're also a judge on the show. Jocelyn Duma is also a judge. And then Kopi Adai, a judge. And Amazing James Gardner is the host. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
We'll be looking
us.
out for more episodes. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
this
you.
morning.
Thank you
All
for having
right. We are wrapping up here on TV3 Newday. If it's your birthday, you are blessed and highly favored. We are celebrating with you. Let's take the birthday celebrants this morning and then give you a few reminders before we say goodbye. But the first one will be attention to all parents of first-year SHS boarding students. EduPack, the Ghana Education Service, approved and supported national SHS initiative implemented by Prospectus Ghana, is now in progress across the entire country. Parents across Ghana are already registering so that their children's trunk, Macintosh mattresses, pillows, and plastic chopbox will be ready and waiting at their various schools before reporting day. Please do not delay and be caught in the usual Ghana man last-minute market rush, carrying heavy items under pressure. We don't do that anymore. So with EduPack, your child does not need to travel to school with all these essentials. You're very simple steps. You just dial *713 *821#. And then you go to any ADB branch, you pay your money, you have your chit, and then this is what you do. You keep the chits or the receipts, and then you present it on opening day. You collect all your items. So your EduPack registration follows you to any SHS you are placed. Please avoid the stress. Avoid the stress. Ghana 4, avoid the stress, and just make sure that you make all this comfortable for your ward. Very affordable. So please make sure that you jump on this initiative, which is approved and supported by the Ghana Education Service. For more information, there are a few numbers to call: 050-7000-933, or you can also call 0302-955-050. All right. Let's go now, guys, to the birthdays. Let's go to the birthdays. All right. First person on the list today is Thomas Khan, Central Regional Correspondent for Media General Newsroom. God bless you so much, Thomas Khan. Happy birthdays from all of us to you. And following that will be Uncle Charles Prosper Afiva. Happy birthday to you, Uncle. You turned 80. Happy birthday to you. Okay. Victoria Abdullahi, may God grant you good health. Okay. Moving on to also celebrate. James Ghana, you are still here. Let's do the birthdays. Do the birthdays for us. You're a presenter now.
God bless you beyond measure. Happy birthday. I think there's another one. Regina Deladem, God bless you, from Mavis and Mabel. Oh, she's very beautiful. And also to Akosia Arthur, God bless you, from Quality and Safety Department, PAL. Yeah. And also to Sephra Commodore of Sakumono from Rahel Wilson. Jocelyn.
Yes, Okay, happy birthday to Maria Kini Jua. God bless you from Mr. Kofi Strongbow of Testimony Services. And that's it, I think.
No, is that the last one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the last one.
That's the last
one. But it's all good. Brother, where are you? Come, let's say goodbye to our visitors this morning, and of course to our audience who have been watching from morning. Thank you. Taliba, we have to send you to maybe one of the flood areas to go and do a report for us. So since you are the hottest presenter in town.
Yes. Why not Jocelyn?
Yes, why not you? Why not you?
Yeah. When is this?
Tomorrow. We can go tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's a bad day. I think Jocelyn will be.
Why not?
Yeah, he's a man of the people.
I know, right? Yes, you should. Bella, it's been amazing.
It has been, absolutely, and I'm looking forward to the show. So congratulations on all of this.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Here's where we draw the curtains for today. God willing, tomorrow 6 a.m. we will be back here for TV3 Newday. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programming.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.